to sunny Georgia on a beautiful Indian summer day for this NFC interdivisional battle matching the New York Giants and the Atlanta Falcons. Hi, everybody. I'm Frank Glieber. If anything, the recent series between these two teams has been close. Last 3 years, 2 games have gone to overtime. 1 decided in the last 58 seconds. The Giants won 2 of those. With me is Dick Vermeil. Obviously, the Giants have been struggling the last couple of weeks. What's at stake here, Dick?
Well, Frank, with any football team, not just the New York Giants, when you've played poorly 2 weeks in a row, as a coach, you're concerned you're going to lose their concentration. The squad's going to fall apart. You're always concerned about that.
Well, they've got some bright spots. Phil Simms continues to play well. On the other hand, Lawrence Taylor hasn't had a sack in the last couple of weeks.
Simms has been doing real well. You know, only one quarterback, Marino's thrown more touchdown passes. The defense has to keep the game close enough so he can make a difference. Simms can make a difference. Lawrence Taylor, they're bringing big offensive linemen out of big 270-pound guards like the 49ers did last week. Someone has to break loose inside and stop those linemen from turning out.
Atlanta trying to win 2 in a row for the first time this season. They had a very impressive last-second victory against the Rams. First time they've ever won out there in 19 years, but they suffered another key injury.
Well, they've had bad luck. Losing William Andrews, of course, at the start. Riggs goes down last week. His replacement, who's a fine running back, Lynn Kane, steps in last week, runs for 145 yards. Billy Whiteshoes goes down. They've had bad luck, but fortunately, due to good management, good organization, they've had outstanding players to replace those that are injured.
Well, they may have some good luck this afternoon. I don't know. They've won a coin toss at home for the first time since December 12, 1982. Falcons win the toss, will receive. The weather conditions ideal for watching, perhaps a little warm for playing. Temperatures expected to reach 85 degrees before the afternoon is out, but no threat of rain. Ali Haji Sheikh will kick off for the New York Giants. He's been in a slump this year. Just 2 out of 7 field goal attempts. And the deep men for the Atlanta Falcons, Rodney Tate, number 44, is in the center, flanked by William Kern, number 89, and Kenny Johnson, number 37. Here we go. Tate, 4 yards deep in the end zone. And Kern telling him not to run it out, so Atlanta will put it in play, 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. Let's take a look at the lineups. Kane, the number 3 running back, and what a great day he had last week against Los Angeles. Absolutely career day for Lynn Kane. So he'll be a key factor as you look at the backs and receivers. Veteran offensive line, but they've been nicked all year by injuries. Ken's missed a couple of games. Thielman's had a hand problem, all the way down the list. 1st and 10. Still the Falcons with one of the more explosive offenses in the National Football League. They go with the one-back set. That's Lynn Kane. Trying the left side and not much there. He carried it 35 times last week, tying a club record, and rushed for a club record 3 touchdowns. Defensive line changes for the New York Giants. Martin filling in for the injured Curtis McGriff, who should play some, and Leonard Marshall at the other end also filling in for D. Hardison, who may play some. 2 new linebackers in there starting. Carl Banks, the number 1 draft pick, and Gary Reasons. And the secondary also has a new starter in Pete Shaw, who's filling in for the injured Kenny Hill. A lot of ankle injuries, particularly besetting the New York Giants. On 2nd and 10, Kane tries the middle, gets 2, maybe 3 yards, and is stacked up by Lawrence Taylor, number 56.
You know, Frank, if the Giants can get playing defense like they have against the run in the past, this game's going to be an intense, tight football game all the way through it. Look at Lawrence Taylor here, number 56, comes sliding back to the inside, moved right up into the ball carrier. Very tough to block. You try to make the decision. Do we run at him? Do we run away from him? Hey, I think you're better off just forgetting about it and play football.
He leads the NFC in sacks with a total of 8, despite the fact he hasn't had one the last couple of games. On 3rd and 7, Bartkowski passing for the first time. Good protection, trying to hit Kane over the middle, and the pass is incomplete. Taylor out of the heels of Lynn Kane, and the Falcons will be punting. So not a bad opening series for Lawrence Taylor. What have these other teams done against Taylor the last couple of weeks?
Well, last week the 49ers brought out their guard. The guard is not covered by a defensive lineman in a 30 defense, Frank, so he can slide out and pick up the linebacker. Other people have slid the defensive end to him. Other people have put, not the defensive end, the offensive tackle, excuse me, to him. And the other people have put tight ends right out there in front of him and make him come around him.
Ralph Giacomarro, number 2 punter in the NFC, doing the honors, and Phil McConkey is deep for the Giants, who have 10 men up with the line of scrimmage. High snap. Giacomarro doing a good job pulling it down. That's a returnable kick. McConkey at the 40, 45. Looking for running room at midfield and doesn't quite get there, but the Giants will come up with excellent field position at their own 49-yard line after the relatively short punt of 36 yards by this man, Ralph Giacomarro. Let's set up the Giants for you. Offensively, they're still trying to get that running game going. It has really caused them a lot of concern this year. Woolfolk and Carpenter. There's Joe Morris will see a lot of action there. And this relatively young and inexperienced offensive line playing together for the first time behind Phil Simms. Giants still opening up, trying to establish that running game, but absolutely nothing there. Take a look at the statistics on Simms. Tied for the NFC lead in touchdown passes and second in the conference to Neil Lomax in yardage.
He's really doing well, and if they can just give him the time and keep the game so a big pass one way or the other makes a difference, they can win this football game.
Carpenter in the one-back set. They've got Woolfolk on the wing up to the right, up on the top of your screen. Second down and 11. On the delay, Carpenter across the 50 is down to the 45-yard line. So picks up close to 10 on the play. John Rady, number 59, and Kenny Johnson, 37, on the stop. Big hole for him there, Dick.
As we look at the fullback right here, watch, he's going to set and going to go off the blocks of these people right up here in front of him. Now watch him set. Quarterback is going to come back. See him set right now. He's reading the blocks. Nice block right up inside there by Kevin Belcher, number 73. Did a nice job of popping it up inside.
Same setup for the Giants. They have a 3rd and 3 from the 45 of Atlanta. Woolfolk on the wing to the right. Carpenter in the one-back set. And Carpenter driving for the first down will be close at the 41-yard line.
Frank, you can see that they've in their game plan, their thoughts, hey, we're going to come out and get that running game going. We haven't run well, and we've got to get it going.
Falcons defensive line. Dan Benish is a relative newcomer there, replacing Gary Burley, who was a starter when last time we saw them. David Fry, new starter at the right side linebacker position, replacing the injured Al Richardson. And the secondary remains the same. Pridemore will share time with Scott Case, high draft pick, who the Falcons think very much of. Close enough for measurement.
You try to stretch that chain.
And Simms taking a good, long, hard look for the Giants, and they got it. 1st and 10 for the Giants at the 41-yard line, and Bill Parcells breathing a huge sigh of relief. Unusual relationship between these two coaches. Parcells told us yesterday that his best friend is the man on the opposite side of the field, Dan Henning, the head coach of the Atlanta Falcons.
Well, they coached together in college at Florida State, along with Joe Gibbs, quite a college coaching staff.
They were all on the same staff under Bill Peterson quite a few years ago. 1st and 10 for the Giants at the Falcon 41-yard line. Carpenter to about the 39. Looks like the Giants taking a page out of the Falcons book here with the one-back set.
They have been using more one-back attack all through the season as they progressed here. It's fine passing formation. Plus, you get people in, those one-on-one blocking situations so you can run up inside.
Pickup of 2 yards on the play. It'll be 2nd down 8. Giants with the opening possession of the ball game have the football at the Falcons 39. Now they go back to the standard 2-back set. With Woolfolk and Carpenter, Simms calling the signal. Simms putting it in the air for the first time. Goes over the middle. Time catch by the tight end. Let's see if that's Zeke Moat. Yes, indeed.
Beautiful catch by Zeke Moat.
Down around the 10-yard line. Moat, who has had some problems hanging onto the football, made
Here's
a great
your tight
grab.
end right here coming off now. Watch him jump. Here he is, heading on now. Reaches right up there over the top of the linebacker. John Rady does an awfully nice job.
Nose of the ball just outside the 10. Let's call it the 11-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for the New York Giants. They've got Gray and Bobby Johnson wide to the right side. And again going with the single back set. Woolfolk split to the left. Carpenter, the running back. Carpenter at the 10. Got a yard, and that's about it. Carpenter had a pretty big day last year against these Atlanta Falcons. Britt coming up from the secondary to make the stop. Carpenter last year gained 111 yards on 28 carries against Atlanta. That's a ball game that was won by the Giants. Another one of those thrillers. Those are not impressive stats for a runner of Carpenter's stature.
Well, no, he's a very fine cutback runner, but the entire offensive team, they haven't just run the football in any one ball game enough to really establish him.
2nd down. Let's call it 10 for the first down. Closer to the 11 than the 10. Simms Good protection. Gonna run it. Nope. Finally decides to deliver it. Ernest Gray at the 1. Dives for the end zone. Let's see. No indication of a touchdown. And it looks like he may have gone out of bounds inside the 1. If that indeed is the case, it would be a first down for the New York Giants inside the 1.
Now here he is isolated out there one-on-one on James Britt, who's playing him inside. He starts back inside, not really running back. Now curls back to the outside. Zone defense down there, believe it or not. Here comes Britt to go ahead and put him away. Just missed the end zone. Touchdown line for about an inch, Frank.
First and goal to go. As Sims brings the Giants out in the eye. Woolfolk the tailback. And Carpenter set in front of him. Butch Woolfolk trying to get in and doesn't get close, and we get a flag. A penalty marker thrown on the far side of the field. Boy, did he get met.
People met him. Good timing. Met him in the air. Very good timing by the linebackers.
Woolfolk going back to the huddle says, Phil, let's try another route.
Let's go outside this time.
Offside against the Falcons. They can't move it much closer to the goal.
No wonder they got there so quickly.
It's Ben Greith is the referee. He'll give you the call.
Line up in the neutral zone, number 23.
It's a defensive back, Bobby Butler.
He's anxious. See him lined up there at the left of your screen over the ball completely. See him right, the left end of your screen. That's a defensive back, not a big guy. He's anxious to get there, Frank.
First and goal. The Giants inside the 1 on their first possession of the day.
He's in.
Carpenter for the touchdown, going over the top. And so the Giants, who have not run the football that well, run it pretty good on their opening possession. One of the key plays, certainly, the pass to the tight end, Zeke Moat, over the middle to put them in great shape.
This has got to help them mentally throughout the rest of the ball game. Here you can see the man in motion. He's going to kick out right there on the defensive back, 37, Kenny Johnson. He's up over the top. Nice job. The offensive lineman kept the defensive lineman down there, and the linebackers didn't get in there and meet him in the air like they did on that first down play.
Ali Haji Sheik, 13 out of 15 extra points. We saw him miss 2 against the Rams. They bobble that one. Rutledge the holder, and the Sheik just throws it away. So the extra point try is no good. I don't know if you got to blame that one on the holder or what. They never had a shot at it, obviously.
It was a high snap, Frank. And sometimes those high snaps catch you by surprise. And even though you can feel that you're concentrating with your hands out there at a low position and you're waiting for it there, and all of a sudden it's over your head. Take a look at it here. Now watch right in the middle of your screen. The ball comes back. It's a little high. It could have been fielded, but it was still too high. Now they go into their scramble pass play. This is an automatic thing that they go into, and evidently here it did not work.
Timeout. Giants lead it 6-0. Dan Henning, the head coach of the Atlanta Falcons, came into the season determined to build on his defense, which has had some problems, so he drafted heavily on defense. And you can see they still got some problems. Giants scoring drive took them, 8 plays to go 51 yards after the short punt by Giacomello. Passes to Moat and Gray among the keys. Good kick here by Ali Haji Sheik. Tate fields it 9 yards deep in the end zone. So the Sheik, who has had a rough year, but you can't blame that one on him.
He must feel he's snake bitten.
Well, you have those years. Coming up after this one, most of you will watch the Dallas Cowboys battle the Washington Redskins. Showdown number 1. Both teams tied for the lead in the NFC Eastern Division, and you can see the Giants are still in pretty good shape, too.
You bet they're all in good shape right now. The season's too early to start writing yourself out of it.
First and 10, Falcons from their 20-yard line. Lynn Kane is the setback. We are expecting to see some work from Gerald Riggs, who's been bothered by that bad ankle. I'll tell you one thing, the Giants defense has got this one back set up soft. They haven't been able to gain anything.
Not yet, but the game was really early. They only had 3 offensive plays prior to this one, Frank. But that Giant defense, when they're playing right, with the discipline that they're coached, and add the emotion and the excitement of a ball game, they're tough to run on. They just haven't been as tough this year.
Giants have had their problems with the NFC West. They're 0-2, having lost to Los Angeles, the Rams, and San Francisco, and they don't want to be 0-3. Kane trying the right side, trying to bounce it outside, gets to near the 25-yard line. So the Falcons going to be looking at 3rd and 5.
Lynn Kane has tremendous footwork, a great runs with a nice base, and he bounces around them. Now watch his feet here. Now watch him. Starts up in there. See him plant those feet, jump back to the outside. Not all running backs can do that. See, he can do that because he keeps the good base and has extremely fine balance, Frank.
That's also something you don't teach.
No, you don't teach that. That's born. It's born.
Third down. Falcons need 5 for the first down as they overload the left side with receivers. Stacey Bailey is out there, so is Jackson. 3 wide receivers off to the left at the top of your screen. They start Bailey back in motion. Bailey at the 35-yard line is run out of bounds by Kennard. Make that Floyd Hodge, number 83, instead.
He's filling in for Billy Whiteshoes. Now watch him come in. He'll be coming into the right side of your screen. He comes inside, now bounces back to the outside, one-on-one on Shaw, number 44, and gets there for the first down. Nice job.
So it's a first down, their first of the ball game for the Atlanta Falcons. The officials will mark it at the 38-yard line. Falcons trailing 6-0. 8 minutes, 35 seconds left to play in the opening period. Steve Bartkowski, who's had a splendid year so far for Atlanta. Nice fake that time to Kane, buys him a lot of time. Goes right back on the far sideline to Kane, who turned out to be somewhat of a safety valve. And Perry Williams, number 23, the right corner, was there to make the stop. Bartkowski had 10 straight completions last week against the Rams and is number 1 in completion percentage, as you can see in the NFL. He's also number 1 in the NFC anyway, in that the average yards per pass play, which the coaches say is one of the biggest stats of all.
It's one of the big stats. For every yard you average more, it's worth 3 points in the winning margin in regard to the Bud Goody computer programs anyway.
Second down, 7. Bartkowski, short throw over the middle. That's another first down. As that time, the Falcons go to their H-back, Cliff Benson, number 87, who is rarely thrown to.
Benson right here is coming in motion right here. Is going to come right around up here and get into the zone coverage. The linebackers are going to drop out of there. Here he comes. See him? Now he's going to sit. Now here he comes sneaking out. The linebackers have dropped out of there. Now it's a one-on-one situation. He looks like a running back.
Back to live action from the 42-yard line of the Giants. Kane gets a yard to the 41. Benson has caught just 8 balls this year in 7 games. For an NFL report, here's Brett Musburger in New York.
Tell him no. Frank, this play is there all day long for the Chicago Bears. If they can isolate Willie Gault one-on-one, as they did, nobody can stay up with him. And now the Bears lead the Cardinals 7-3. Let's go back to Frank.
There are not many people who can keep up with Willie Gault. Take a look at the Falcons bench. Boy, I'll tell you, it is warm down there. Temperature inching up into the mid-80s at the present time. Virtually no breeze at all. Kane tries the right side on 2nd and 9. Gets out to the 30, across the 40 to the 38-yard line.
Did you see Lawrence Taylor coming down from the backside of that? If that running back would have cut back, it had been headache time for him. He was really coming.
Taylor keeps moving around. That's part of the strategy as you look at other scores around the NFL. You won't find Taylor in the same spot. Parcells told us you might find him in the middle, you might find him on the left side, you might find him on the right side, and it's going to be a guessing game, so the Falcons can't load on him. On the other hand, Henning told us when he stays where he's accustomed to staying on that right side, they're much better against the rush.
Right. Well, everybody else is stable. That's their basic front, the 30 defense, 3 down linemen. They're ready to play. And it just affects everybody. When they're playing their best, I think they're playing their fundamental fronts.
Falcons calling a time with 6:31 left in the opening period. Glieber along with Dick Vermeil, about 55,000 on hand, just short of sellout here at the Atlanta Fulton County Stadium. Falcons driving right now. They have a third down. They need 4 for the first down with the ball at the 37-yard line of the New York Giants. Giants leading 6-0. Jackson wide to the right side. They've got Bailey in the slot. 3 wide receiver setup. In motion, going long for Bailey. Great extended catch. First down at the 2-yard line. What a tremendous receiver this guy's turned into.
Yeah, he's up there in a bump and run. Now see him right there. Perry Williams, number 23, has him. Perry Williams, a world-class sprinter. But Stacy Bailey, as you can see, can run too. Now he reaches out there and makes the beautiful catch, Frank. Gosh darn, that's an all-pro type of reception right there.
Last week against the Rams, Bailey had 7 receptions on 3rd and 4th down situations. Talk about a clutch receiver. You're looking at him.
Plus, he catches a touchdown every 8th pass they throw to him, or he catches.
2-back setup this time for the Atlanta Falcons as they try to squeeze it into the end zone. They're going to be awful close, but no indication given by the officials. It'll be 2nd and goal from about the 6-inch line. Lynn Kane, number 21.
Perry Williams can cover a receiver like Stacy Bailey up there in a bump and run position, but he was a little late in turning, and that gave Stacy a step on him, and then he couldn't make it up.
2nd down. Goal to go. Tim Tyrell, number 32, is the other running back, but it is Kane going up over the top, and still we get no indication of a touchdown. And the Falcons are going to be looking at a 3rd down and goal to go from about the 1-foot line.
They might have lost a little ground on this one. Now watch, there he is. He's going to reach back there and hand it to him direct straight up. He's up in the air like that, but a real nice job by the defensive lineman, Leonard Marshall, number 70, caught him while he was in the air and shoved him back.
Watch the battle in the trenches here as the Giants try to surge. 3rd and goal from the 1-foot line for the Atlanta Falcons. Barkowski throwing on 3rd and 1. He's in trouble behind the line and has to throw it away. Trying to cross the Giants up with a pass play on 3rd and 1, but Burt, number 64, was in there quickly, the nose tackle.
That was a real good play call, really. I'd call this same thing myself, but what happened is the tight end, number 88, ran into his own man in the crossing pattern, and then Burt, number 64, came off the nose and put pressure on him, and he had to throw it away. I think that's a good call.
Looks like they're going to go for it. Would you go for it this early?
Yes, I would. I'd go after it.
4th down, a foot away from a touchdown. Tyrell 32, and Kane 21 of the setbacks. The fake to Kane. Barkowski on the roll-up does not get in. He is stopped for a loss of 2 yards on the play and a great goal line defense.
Carl Banks makes his first big play of his career, their number 1 pick. The killer comes alive.
Timeout here in Atlanta. Giants still lead it 6-0. Giants with their backs to the wall now, but a great goal line stand has to fire up New York. 1st down from the 2-yard line in their own end of the field, and Carpenter gets a yard to take it out to the 3. Boy, Banks did some kind of job, didn't he?
He did a nice job, Frank. He really did. You know, he's their number 1 pick, and I think he's really been going through the number 1 pick-itis, if there is such a thing. You know, you've been a superstar, and now all of a sudden you show up and you aren't the superstar, and it takes a while to make that adjustment. There's a superstar when he's really hot and the line's blocking, and Carpenter.
Bill Parcells got to be happy the way his defense played on that goal line stand. 2nd down 9 for the Giants at their 3-yard line. Sims trying to guide them out of trouble here as the Giants protect a 6-0 lead late in the 1st period from the end zone. Has it blocked on him, incomplete. Don Smith, the right end, number 65. Watch it.
Right here, you're going to see this tackle did not set short enough on Don Smith, the defensive end, and he was able to jump up and bat this short pass down. Now, Sims drops back 1, 2, 3 turns. See him jump up there now and bat that thing down. William Roberts has got to keep pressure on him and set real short to stop that from happening.
Roberts, the Giants' other number 1 draft pick, in addition to Banks on defense. Now it's 3rd and 9 for the Giants from their 3. Falcons showing blitz, and Sims may be checking off. Here they come. Safety blitz. Just does get it away and almost intercepted. James Britt, number 26, got his hands on the football with the pass intended for Ernest Gray.
There was a safety blitz on that one right here. You're going to see him coming right now, and they're going to try to pick him up, and they do a pretty good job. He gets it off. See the guard right there, Billy Yard, number 67, picks him up. He gets the ball off in that little slant pattern, but it was almost intercepted.
So good rush on Sims. And Jennings backed up as far as he can go in the end zone to push it out. Nice kick.
There's a pressure punt for you.
Willie Curran at the 50-yard line. Missed tackle, 45. This is what's haunted the Giants here the last couple of weeks. Their punt coverage teams. And they've allowed 2 return for touchdowns in the last 2 weeks. 47 on that pressure punt by Dave Jennings. And a 7-yard return by Willie Curran. And Curran becomes the first man to return a punt for Atlanta other than Billy White Shoes Johnson since 1981.
That's a lot of punts. I think Billy's still in the hospital.
Well, we certainly wish him well. It's the 4th time he's had the knee operated on. His age, you wonder, but he really had one of his best years going.
You know that in the tackle that Terry Kennard, number 43, missed, you really, as a coach, don't get mad at him. You allow that first guy down to take a blind shot.
Falcons defense did their job. They give the offense good field position at the 42-yard line of the Giants. And they go back to Lynn Kane. Slips inside the 40 to the 38-yard line. For an NFL Today report, once again, here's Brent Musburger in New York.
Frank, here's a quarterback we'll be profiling soon on the NFL Today. Steve DeBerg pulls out. He's got Kevin House in the end zone, and the Buccaneers have become a winner since DeBerg took over. It's 7-0. Back to Frank.
He has done an amazing job. DeBerg, who started with Dallas, went on to San Francisco. Time remaining in the first period. 2nd down, 5. The wave is in effect. The wave motion here. Kane to the 35, to the 34. Loose football down there. Let's see if the play had been whistled dead. George Martin indicated he thought that the Giants recovered, and they did. So the Giants recover a fumble at the bottom of that pile. Carl Banks was down there, number 58.
Here he is, the wingback coming in motion. He kicks out right there. They're up in the crowd. You can't see the ball come out, but evidently it did because you can see people going after it. Got up in the crowd, probably stripped it by pulling his arm away from his body.
The Giants defense apparently has come to play. Timeout in Atlanta. Giants 1st and 10 at their 32-yard line following the fumble recovery a moment ago. They lead by a score of 6-0 late in the opening period. And still trying to establish that running game. Go to Woolfolk this time. Parcells has said the running offense has been simplified, and he's taken it back some and taken it down to basic plays. We were talking to Dan Henning yesterday, the head coach of the Falcons, and he was ready for this Giant defense, wasn't he?
He said, you know, coaches, I believe that our football team tomorrow is going to play the football team, the New York Giant team that played and beat the Dallas Cowboys earlier in the year. That's the kind of team we're going to play against.
So far, the Giant defense has, as we said, done its job. 2nd down, 5. Giants at the 36-yard line. Carpenter on the delay has some running room. 40, 45, 50, down to the 45 and out of bounds near the 41-yard line. Rob Carpenter breaking loose on the little delay.
They came with the dog, and he got up inside. Now watch Carpenter, the right side of your screen, set there. He's back there. He gets it now. You can see number 50 come up over the outside of him. He slips and falls. Buddy Curry, he couldn't get him back there. That turf's a little bit soft. Now here comes Pridemore, number 27, to finish him off. You can see that Carpenter's not a speed burner per se, but he does have good balance and can make those kind of cuts.
Well, that's his longest gain of the year at 21 yards. His previous long was 18. The Giants' long as a team is 22. 1st and 10 from the 41. Sims going over the middle, completes the pass to little Joe Morris, who will take it to the 35. You mentioned dog a moment ago. You know, we hear dog, we hear blitz. What's the difference, Dick?
Well, we as coaches, most of us put the dog category into linebackers coming. And as soon as a safety is involved in the dog, it becomes in a blitz category.
Fair enough. 2nd down, short yardage now. 2.5, maybe 3 needed for the first down for the Giants at the 35-yard line. Giants seem to be fired up after 2 dismal performances against the Rams and the 49ers. And a very important game for New York. 2nd and 3 from the Falcon 35-yard line. Morris is in there for Carpenter. This is Woolfolk. Woolfolk dancing his way down across the 35 to the 30 to the 28-yard line. So Something's happening in this running game.
Well, right here you can see Woolfolk to the left of your screen. Now watch, he's coming there, setting on passing, getting him upfield, setting him up there, getting him upfield. Now his running ability takes over there. Good balance, cutting ability. He is running like a real player of a year ago when he had those great games. In fact, he set an NFL record for 43 carries, did he not?
I believe you're absolutely right. It's a first down for the New York Giants. They spotted at the 28-yard line of the Atlanta Falcons. Giants leading 6-0. We get a whistle, and let's see if the Falcons jump, if someone pulled them off.
Frank, I think we've seen more draw plays run already than we've seen the Giants run in a number of ball games. Evidently in their game plan is they want to, instead of whip them physically.
65 on the defense, made contact, 5-yard penalty.
That's Don Smith, the defensive end.
Well, anyway, with the draw blocks, then all you have to do is catch him and then get him to turn one way and let the running back pick the hole.
If you're Parcells, how do you motivate your team going into this game today?
Well, I think I'd challenge my guys individually. Say, are you that bad? Are we that bad? Are you good enough to beat the Atlanta Falcons? And if the guy says yes, and Frank, every time they will say, yes, I'm good enough, then he says, well, it's about time. Let's get it done.
And so far, they're doing it. We're inside of 1 minute to play, as you can see. In the first period here at Atlanta Fulton County Stadium, first quarter dominated by the New York Giants. 1st and 5. Woolfolk looking for a block, trying to break it outside. Not much there. Takes it to the 22-yard line. David Fry, the right side linebacker, number 58, filling in for Al Richardson, doing the job. He's a free agent from Purdue, done well.
Yeah, he has done well. Done real well. He has 2 sacks already on the year.
Officials mark it at the 22 as the first period comes to an end. Back at Atlanta in just a moment. That's Freddie Falcon showing us some moves we haven't seen yet this year.
Yeah, he looks like he ought to play nose guard for him.
Into the second quarter we go. The Giants with a second down. They need 5 for the first at the Falcon 22-yard line. Carpenter. Not this time. No gain at all. Carpenter at 35 yards rushing in the first period on 8 carries. But he's jammed up pretty good there, John Rady. And Buddy Curry in the bottom of that pile up for another NFL Today report. Here's Brent in New York.
Frank, Jeff Kemp continues to do a sensational job for the Rams. Vince Ferragamo may not get his job back. The Dartmouth grad hits Drew Hill. Watch the run after the catch against the New Orleans Saints. Richard Todd has just been benched, and now it's Stabler. Let's go back to Frank.
That's a big game in the NFC West. 3rd down, 5 from the shotgun. Sims under pressure, looking for a receiver, gets the pass away, and will complete it for a first down and maybe a touchdown. Lionel Manuel lost it. Fumble at the 5-yard line, and the Falcons may have recovered. Sims doing a splendid job of scrambling, and Manuel with a great couple of moves, but he lost the football. And coming up with it for the Atlanta Falcons, Thomas Benson, 56.
You can really see that Lionel Manuel has running ability after he catches the ball. The UOP graduate did a nice job on that one. Then he got it stripped. Here he is back in the shotgun. He gets heat. Good rush to the outside. Now you watch, he'll have to step up there, see him step up to his right. Nice pressure there. He steps up, he finds the receiver, throws it to Lionel right there, makes him miss right there. They slip and fall again on that turf. Nice cut. Pridemore misses him and strips the football. They come up with it right there.
Falcons with a 1st and 10 from their 5-yard line. Lynn Kane outside, gets to about the 7. And that's it, a pickup of 3 yards on that play. Lynn Kane played his college football at Southern Cal, but he said there was always a Ricky Bell or a Charles White or somebody like that ahead of me, so he played a lot of fullback.
He played fullback. You know, he was the JC Player of the Year in the state of California, so he was, that meaning junior college. He was a great college back, but like you said, you get in there behind the Heisman Trophy winners, and it's tough to get to carry the ball.
And of course, in the last couple of years here in Atlanta, with the one-back set, you got Riggs in front of you and William Andrews, and you really don't get to carry the ball much. 2nd and 8. Bartkowski from the end zone. Runs it. 5, 10, and slides to a halt after picking up the first down at the 15-yard line. Well, that's something you won't see very, very often because he's not one of the more mobile quarterbacks in the league. For an NFL Today report, again, to Brent in New York.
Frank, the storyline in St. Louis. The Bear defense unable to hold the Cardinals early. This was Randy Love's touchdown. They're dominating. Incidentally, Richard Todd is out for the Saints. Ken Stabler, the quarterback, and Earl Campbell at running back. Back to Frank.
Well, it sounds like they've got big problems there. Here it's 6-0. Giants leading the Falcons.
Look at R.C. Tillman's paw right there, his right hand. You know, he has a broken hand, Frank. Look at that.
That's a boxing glove almost.
He could do some war in there with that thing.
Now, he has shattered a finger. He's got 5 metal pins in that finger.
Yeah.
Does wonders for the metal detectors at the airports around the country. 1st and 10 for the Falcons after the 10-yard scramble by Bartkowski. Bart wants to go long. He does, intended for Jackson, and it's intercepted. Mark Haynes, 45, 40, 35. Haynes out of bounds, 29-yard line. And the Giants are in business again. What a job this Giant defense has done so far.
Frank, that's not a case of a bad throw or bad route. That's a case of beautiful execution on defensive technique. Now, you're going to see there's play action fake. The wingback comes in, number 87, makes a little fake to the running back, Kane. Now he's going to throw the post down there, and Haynes comes in from the backside as the quarterback is looking to find out what happened. Here it is now. Now, watch the end of it here. He goes for it, and Haynes got it covered like a book. Look at this. Nice. Now he becomes the running back. He's picking up people there, linebackers there. Shaw, number 44. Nice job.
22 yards on the interception return. 1st and 10 from the 28. Joe Morris dips outside, then back inside to the 25-yard line. Gets a couple of yards on that play. It'll be 2nd down 8. Little Joe from Syracuse.
Bartkowski throws very, very few interceptions. You know that. He'd only thrown 5 coming into this ball game.
Other scores throughout the league, Houston and Miami in the second period. Yes, indeed. Cincinnati leading New England. Our score, 6-0 Giants early in the second period. 2nd down, 7. Throws the ball just beyond the Falcon 25-yard line. Sims picks out the field, finds an open receiver. Looked like Moat down about the 12-yard line, and that should be good for the first if everything is in order. Zeke Moat, the tight end, feels that bullet from Phil Sims for a Giant first down at the 12.
That's his second big catch. It's a crossing pattern. He gets back there. They're going zone coverage. See him at the bottom of your screen crossing. It gave him time to get over there in that little hole created in the zone. There it is, first down. Second big catch for him today.
Giants with a 1st and 10. Officials mark it at the 13-yard line. And Parcells probably likes what he sees so far. Much more fired-up football team. Single back setup, Carpenter to about the 11-yard line. You know, we talked about motivation a moment ago, what you would say if you were Parcells. And let's take a look at this replay first, and then I'll ask you something else.
Bryant, their number 1 pick, number 70, Sam. See him there in the big red jersey. They're going to block 2 people on him. Here goes Belcher, number 73. Ard, number 67. 2 people on him, but somebody else filled in and made the play.
Now, if you're Henning, how do you motivate Atlanta to play against the Giants?
Well, you just make them realize, first off, we played them 3 times in the last few years, and they've been, you know, dogfights, and chances are they're going to play great again today.
2nd and 9 from the 12-yard line. Falcons showing blitz once again, and here they come. Wide to Morris. Joe Morris to the 10 to the 9-yard line. They have to get to the 3 to pick up the first down. Rick Bryan, number 77, into the stop along with Jeff Yates, number 79. Number 1 draft pick there from Oklahoma.
He is a player. You know, he was 3-time All-Big 8 academic team member as well as being a great football player. He is a very bright guy.
He is built somewhat along the lines of a standard refrigerator. I mean, he is square.
I think, in fact, it might be a refrigerator-freezer combination.
That could very well be. 3rd down, 7 for the Giants at the Falcon 9-yard line. They need the 3 for the first down. And, of course, 9 for the score. Again, the Falcons showing blitz. Dancing around at the line of scrimmage again. Here they come. Sims for Carpenter. Touchdown.
Super job by Sims of hanging in there against that blitz, but I'm not so sure that Carpenter didn't push off in the end zone to get open. They're fired up now. You see him going straight back in the pedal technique. See Carpenter come through inside. The linebacker picks him up right down at the bottom of your screen. Right there, he gave him a little shove and ended up with the ball. Number 59, John Rady, covering him man-to-man in the goal line, man-to-man defense.
12-0 New York. Rutledge to hold. The deep snapper, by the way, is Rich Humphrey. And Ali Haji Sheikh has no problem with this one. And the Giants jump out to a 13-0 lead on the Atlanta Falcons. 9:56 left to play in the first half.
You think Sims has some heat on him? Bryant's right there. Look at him. He's still looking to see if the ball's completed. Here he is, flat on his back. He's going to jump up. Look, now watch him. He's going to say, oh my gosh, we got a touchdown. Damn. That guy has a lot of enthusiasm. He is a good leader.
Timeout here in Atlanta. Dick Vermeil and I'll be back in just a moment. The scoring drive set up by the fumble recovery by the New York Giants. Takes them 5 plays to get in. And Sims caps it with a 9-yard toss to Carpenter. And Ali Haji Sheikh is ready to kick off. The deep man, Rodney Tate, hadn't had a chance to run one back yet. Sheikh's kicks have both been deep. This one a little bit shorter, coming down to the far side to Kenny Johnson. The defensive back fields this one at the 5, 15, 20. And stopped at about the 25-yard line. And the Falcons will put it in play from there. Well, the Falcons have picked up some yardage on the Giant defense, but it's been between the 20s. Coming up, college football doubleheader on CBS next Saturday. Michigan against Iowa. Did you see what Iowa did to Purdue yesterday?
And Purdue was a ranked football team, were they not?
And you can say something about UCLA and California rivalry, can't you?
Oh, that's a big one. That's usually Southern California against Northern California. 2 state universities. It's usually a very intense football game. Cal hasn't been playing well. UCLA winning, but barely.
You'll see both games next weekend here on CBS. 1st and 10, Falcons ball at their 25-yard line. The H-back, Cliff Benson in motion. Bartkowski with the fake to Kane, trying to set up a screen. He's in trouble behind the line of scrimmage and finally throws it away. Actually, it was Riggs who came into the lineup on that play. Riggs replacing Kane for the very, very first time as they tried to set up the screen.
You're going to see Bartkowski right here coming back. He wants to come on back, then set the screen up, but the pressure from the defense takes it away. Now you watch. Here he's going to come back here, setting back now. Watch him. He's faking. Now the screen people got knocked down. Gerald Riggs, number 42. And see him scramble on the left side of the screen. You lose him. There he's trying to lay it over there, but Riggs is still just getting up off the ground. No way.
Riggs, despite missing last week's game against Los Angeles, still is the number 2 rusher. The Walter Payton of the NFC. This is Riggs. Outside to about the 27-yard line. They got a couple on the play. And they're looking at 3rd and 8. Gerald Riggs, who started the season like gangbusters, filling in for the injured William Andrews, averaging 5 yards per carry, came down with a bad ankle a couple of weeks ago and missed last week's game. He tried to warm up, couldn't go. And at that moment, during the warm-ups, is when Lynn Kane said, Riggs came over and said, I can't go, it's you.
Yeah.
And it was him.
Thank you for the opportunity. I'm sure he said that because Lynn Kane's the kind of guy that's always come prepared to play. And really, having not played much in the last 2 years, he hasn't consequently suffered any bumps and bruises. He's fresh.
3rd down, 7. Falcons at their 28-yard line. Hodge, the H-back in the passing situation. And the intended pass receiver on that throw from Bartkowski. Well, Bartkowski right now is 4 out of 9 for 68 yards and had 1 picked off, and we got a flag. So the discussion will go on here. And we'll see with whom the option lies. It'll be a hold against the Falcons. The Giants will decline because it sets up the punt.
Offensive holding, number 62, decline a penalty. It's 4th down.
Brett Miller, the offensive tackle. And Dan Henning knows he's going to be in for a long afternoon against his old pal Bill Parcells. Giants leading 13-0 early in the 2nd period. Giacomaro's second punt. There's little Phil McConkey.
Giacomaro had a great week last week. Best of his career, 51.3 average.
Nice kick here, McConkey. At the 28, 30, 35. McConkey, we got a flag at the 40. 45, 50. Giacomaro finally slowed him. He fumbled the ball out of bounds, but there's a marker down back at the 35-yard line, which will erase virtually all of that fine punt return. Pretty good job by Giacomaro.
He did a nice job. He got it up there. He was also involved in getting him out of bounds over there rather than trying to tackle him and miss the tackle. He tried to get him out of bounds. Intelligent job by Ralph.
So we'll watch Ben Dreith, the veteran referee, as he tells us what happens here. Ben is one of the Guys who's been around for a long, long time.
Oh, yes, he has.
Came over from the old AFL. He was one of the premier referees in the old AFL.
He's a teacher and counselor at Colorado State. Here's why punters don't wear real big shoulder pads. See, he's not going to go over there and take him on with his helmet and shoulder pads. He's going to shove him and get him out of bounds there and do the intelligent thing. Didn't want to get up there. Though I'll tell you, these guys every once in a while end up on the tackling chart.
Giants will take over after the penalty at their own 22. Timeout. 1st and 10, New York Giants at their 22-yard line.
You can see they came to run by looking at that stat.
Bill Sims throwing this time, or wants to on 1st down. Instead winds up scrambling, takes a pretty good lick, and goes down after a pickup of about 5 yards out to the 28-yard line. That's one reason they haven't run that well, and Sims looked a little rocky as he gets up, waiting for the cobwebs to clear. He took a pretty good shot
He's
there.
scrambling upfield. It looks like he's going to slide underneath. He does, but Kuykendall and somebody else get there right under Tom. Not an illegal hit, but my gosh, it bothered him. There's no question about that. Thomas Benson, number 53, their number 2 draft choice, was right there with him.
Pickup of 6, 2nd down 4 for the Giants at their 28-yard line. Wolfolk and Joe Morris, the setbacks. Looked like a blitz, or at least a dog that time, with Wolfolk on the carry. It's maybe a yard. They're jamming up the middle pretty good now.
Yeah, they really are. They're playing good, tough football inside there.
That's the time remaining in the first half here at Atlanta Fulton County Stadium, with the Giants leading by a score of 13-0.
Those 4 down linemen right now are controlling the line of scrimmage, Frank. Pitts, Benish, Bryan, and Smith are sort of stuffing people on the line.
3rd down, still 4 needed for the 1st down from the 28. Shotgun. Sims on the roll, gets away from the pressure and throws the pass downfield to Lionel Manuel. He was in bounds, pulled it in, picked up the 1st down at the 43. Bobby Butler, number 23, defending. Talking to Parcells yesterday, he sounded pretty excited about this little guy.
Yeah, he really is excited about him. He thinks he's a talented guy, and he's just got to keep getting him in the ball game more. What he really likes about him, though, is his ability to run with the ball after he catches it.
He caught 5 balls last week and has moved into that rotation now. You'll notice he'll come in along with Bobby Johnson with the plays from the bench. And Byron Williams, who played a great deal earlier in the year, has had some problem hanging on to the football. He's been playing a lot less as a result. 1st and 10 from the 41-yard line. The Giants. Carpenter out to about the 44.
Jeff Yates did a nice job right there, sort of stuffing everything at the line of scrimmage. Roy Harris, number 75, was also involved.
Carpenter, of course, had some good years with the Oilers before being obtained by the Giants, and he had gained 100 yards or more in 8 of the 25 games he had played in for the Giants before this season began, so you know he can do it. But it takes more than one guy.
I'll tell you this, Frank, it's always been my philosophy, if you're going to want to run the ball successfully, then you got to line up and run it. Otherwise, you're never going to do it. You keep waiting for it to happen.
2nd and 6 from the 44. Carpenter on the draw. Falcons weren't buying it. No gain at all at the 44-yard line. Roy Harris doing a good job helping jam up the middle, number 75. Kuykendall, veteran linebacker, also in there. That'll set up a passing situation. 3rd down. Giants going to be looking at 6 for the 1st down.
I believe that was the first draw play that Atlanta handled defensively wise efficiently. They really shut it down that time.
Giants have won 3 of the last 4 games played between these two clubs. As we said, the last 3 years, 2 have gone to overtime. One's been decided by field goal in the final 58 seconds. On 3rd and 6, Sims trying to keep it going. Here they come. Gets it away quickly and completes it at the near sideline, and that is good for another 1st down. So Sims out of the shotgun as the Falcons try to put some pressure on. This time finds Ernest Gray, number 83, for the 1st down. For an NFL Today report, let's go to Brent in New York.
Frank, Eric Dickerson finally busted one for the Rams. 67 yards, and it set up their 2nd touchdown. Another beauty by Jeff Kemp, who was on the run. He got to Henry Ellard, and it's 14-3. Ken Stabler, Thumb Phillips, and Earl Campbell are in the hole. Let's go back to Frank.
Here it's the Atlanta Falcons in a hole right now. They're down 13-0. And the Giants are driving with a first down at the Falcon 40-yard line, and Joe Morris gets by a couple tacklers at the line of scrimmage and moves forward to about the 37-yard line. Giants very determined to run the football, and been doing a pretty good job of it, mixing it up with Morris, with Woolfolk, and with Rob Carpenter.
See, and Frank, the other thing, they may not be making a lot of yards, but let's say they end up running the ball twice and end up making only 5. That only puts them in a situation where they have to throw the short, high-efficient pass rather than holding on to it a long time and let the pattern develop downfield. They're much more efficient this way.
2nd and 8 from the Falcons' 38-yard line. Manuel in motion. Now sets on the bottom of your screen. Sims back to throw it. Yates got the big rush, got the pass away to Carpenter. First down, Giants at the 28-yard line. This Giant football team, which has been outscored 64-22 in the last 2 weeks, suddenly turning on its tormentors.
He's going to be coming out of the backfield. Now watch the fullback. He's setting back there real good. Now I see him sneak up through there. See him now coming through the left side of your screen. He just lays it out to him to flat. Now he's one-on-one on Benson, number 53, and he gets that 5 to 6 yard gain he needed for the first down.
Just over 4 minutes left to play in the first half. 1st and 10 Giants at the Falcon 28. Again, the one-back set with Carpenter. Carpenter it is on the carry to the 25-yard line before they jam him up.
Going right at him.
Giants still one of the youngest football teams around, with 19 rookies and first-year players and 23 on their roster with 2 years or less experience.
Yeah, they average 3.5 years experience, and their average age is 25.4. Very young football team.
2nd down, 7 for the first down. As Carpenter gets a breather, clock ticking away, the final 3 minutes and 25 seconds of the first half of play, dominated by the Giants, particularly on defense. Moving from the Falcon 25, Woolfolk with the fumble, but the play had been whistled dead prior to the snap. We've seen a few of those flags this year, haven't we?
Yes, we have. Penalties are up 10% right now, in contrast to last year at the same time.
Number 60, offense.
Number 60. Brad Benson. We visited with Brad yesterday.
He's one of, well, I guess he's the old man in this offensive line now, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
He
loves, yeah. He had 2 brothers that went to Maryland. 1 brother that I think went to Penn State, right?
He said it was kind of nice of my parents. 4 kids, and they all got football scholarships. 2nd down. After the walk-off, Giants now need 12 for the first down from the Falcon 30-yard line. Al Richardson has come into the game at a linebacker position for the Atlanta Falcons. They go with the delay to Joe Morris, and Morris takes it to the 26-yard line before he's stopped.
Sooner or later, they're going to stop that draw. They've run the draw on 2nd and long about every time they've been in 2nd and long situation. Here's old Jeff Yates isolated right there, right in the middle of your screen, number 79. He was a veteran that was cut, didn't make the team. Then he comes back, does a nice job of falling back in on the play. He came back when defensive lineman, I think it was Burley, got hurt. He came back to fill in.
Well, the Falcons, you say, have been acting like the draw play is a great mystery. They haven't seen one before. 3rd down, 7 from the 25. Sims looking over the field. 2 minutes, 30 seconds left to play in the first half. 13-0. Sims with a little half roll to the left. Finally gets rid of it, throws it out of bounds. Sims having to throw that one away. He's taken a pretty good beating here the last few weeks.
Right, well, he was on a dash play where he was sprinting out to his left. Started straight back and then sprint out to his left. And the only disadvantage of that is that once you get out there, you constrict the area of the field that you can throw the ball to.
Ali Haji Sheik. About the nicest thing they've called in the last few weeks is Ali Haji Shank.
Oh, you are really, really rude.
In New York, it gets a little cruel when you're 2 out of 7 in field goals after you set an NFL record.
He'll come back.
42 yards, almost blocked. Gets it away long enough. No good. Had the distance, missed it to the right.
Good, strong, firm kick. They'll start falling for this guy. You watch.
Matter of fact, it was a shank.
It was a shank, but that's all right. Now, see, he gets a nice kick. It goes up there, and it just misses by inches. In fact, as we look at it here, it looks like it's going to go through. But the official had the better view. Missing by inches. He's got to stop and he can't allow himself to become a psycho on that thing.
Well, the Sheik having a long year, and so much of it is mental, and let's hope he can break out of it, at least as far as Giant fans are concerned. First and 10, 25-yard line. Riggs busts up the middle across the 30 to the 33-yard line. The Falcons have an unusual way of signaling in plays. A little bit different, isn't it?
They do. They signal 2 plays to the quarterback, and he knows which one is live, and he is the guy that determines in between series which one's going to be the live call, the first call or the second call.
In this case, we've got a timeout for the 2-minute warning to go to both benches, and Steve Bartkowski comes over to the sidelines to talk to Dan Henning. Back in a minute. Welcome back to Atlanta. That clock you see in the lower right-hand corner of your screen is incorrect at the present time. We're going to have a little bit of a delay here until they run it down to the proper time, which I believe is 1 minute and 59 seconds. There it is. That's right at 2 minutes is where they're going to stop it. And as we get back to play, the Falcons will have a second down. They need a long yard for the first down at their own 34-yard line. And they're trying to light up the scoreboard before halftime. They trail 13-0.
Unbalanced line. Unbalanced to the right.
Riggs offset to the right as a lone setback, and Bartkowski is smothered. Back at the 34-yard line. Look at Taylor. He nearly killed his own man. Jim Burt, number 64, the nose tackle blew through there, and Taylor gave him a shot. He was so happy.
The nose guard, number 64, right at the left of your screen. See, he's going to sit in there. He's coming around. You can't see him yet. Now he's going to be coming inside. Here he comes, Jim Burt. See, he's on the angle. Dang, right on him. Nice shot. John Scully, number 61, was trying to pick him up, but just couldn't get in front of him, Frank.
Well, again, the Giant defense comes through with a big play. It's now 3rd and 10. They had 2nd and 1. 3rd and 10 now from back at the 25-yard line.
Atlanta Falcons with Bartkowski are normally very good in these 2-minute drills.
There's your timeout situation. The Falcons have 2 left. The Giants have all of theirs. Again, Bartkowski under pressure and torn down back at the 11-yard line. As the pressure continues to come, this time from Carl Banks, the number 1 draft pick. Number 58, the Michigan State All-American.
That is his first sack. Now, coming from the right side of the screen, you're going to see him come. Here he comes, right outside number 88, Arthur Cox. Arthur never got enough in front of him. Fundamentally, he just broke down on his technique, and Banks is so darn big at 235 pounds, you've got to get in front of the man.
I believe the Giants' defense is back. Timeout. 1:22 left to play in the first half. 1:22 left to play in the first half. The Falcons looking at a 4th and 22 as Ralph Giacomello drops a couple of yards back deep into the end zone, and Phil McConkey will wait for this one at his 45-yard line. Giacomello has not had one blocked this year. And the Giants loading up at the line of scrimmage with 10 men. Here they come. Gets it away in good fashion. McConkey at the 50-yard line to the 45 of Atlanta, looking for some running room, and he who hesitates is lost. But the Giants in great shape at their 45-yard line. Phil McConkey with a 5-yard return. Coming up at halftime, scores and highlights of all the other games around the NFL with Brent Nerve, and a feature called Coaching the Toughest Profession. Would you agree with that, Mr. Vermeil?
I would have to agree. Coach, you know, I only have this profession now to compare it with, you know.
You're saying coaching is tougher than broadcasting?
Yes, it's no question. Let's ask Bill. What do you think he's saying right now?
Well, last couple of weeks, I can tell you what his answer has been. Maybe today you feel a lot better about it. 1st and 10. Giants at the 45 of Atlanta. Falcons showing blitz. Now they drop off as Sims elects to throw, goes over the middle, and completes the pass for short yardage to Tony Galbraith, number 30, who has come into the ball game. Well, the Giants with their 2-minute offense in operation. They have the timeouts to work with. They have 2. 2nd and 5 from the 40. Sims hesitating and getting the pass away and completing it for not quite enough for the first down. Very close at the 38-yard line as they go at the hurry up. Bobby Johnson, number 88, make the catch, and Kenny Johnson, number 37, on the tackle. 3rd down, they need a long yard for the first down at the 41-yard line, and Bill Parcells calls a timeout. So the Giants will have 1 left when we come back in just a moment. Frank Glieber along with Dick Vermeil, Steve Bartkowski, wondering, hey, these guys are not supposed to be that tough.
No, I think Steve Bartkowski expected them to be tough. You always respect your opponent in the National Football League.
Bartkowski 4 out of 9 for 68 yards, but right now he's watching as the Giants trying to move into position for at least a field goal. Third down, they need a long one for the first down at the Falcon 37-yard line. To Galbraith, and Galbraith has the first down at the 32. 30 seconds left to play and counting. That's in the first half here at Atlanta Fulton County Stadium. Giants inching closer here to Ali Haji Sheikh's range. Sims with another completion, drilling holes in this Falcon defense. They have one timeout left.
I think Atlanta's going to have to go to man-to-man defense here if they're going to stop from getting into that field goal position. They're, loose zones like that, they're just picking them apart with those little short dinks.
Ernest Gray on the reception that time, and they'll spot it at the 24-yard line. The Giants call time. And that should be it as far as timeouts go. Now, you've got 13 seconds left. You've obviously got to go for all of it here, or at least make sure that whoever catches the football goes out of bounds, because you're not going to have time to get this man, Ali Haji Sheikh, into the game for a field goal attempt.
Frank, you normally try to save that last timeout for your field goal team rather than using it here. I wouldn't be surprised to see him go ahead and kick it here.
Well, the Sheikh is still on the sidelines waiting for the decision from Bill Parcells with 13 seconds. They'd have time to run one if they could get it into the end zone, but of course they risk the chance there of Sims getting trapped and the clock would run out. With the line of scrimmage at the 24, they're looking at a 41-yard field goal attempt.
I think kick it myself. I really do. I think that's a good decision if he does. Yep. And Ollie, sooner or later, he's going to start hitting him again. I don't think any kicker in this league becomes a great kicker until he's gone through some adversity, fought back, handled it positively, and then went ahead and become an efficient kicker again. I think this guy has the ability to do it. And talking with him, I think he has the right kind of demeanor.
Rutledge to hold. Of course, he has had a new holder and a new center this year. That's made a difference. Call it 42. Up, long enough. Good.
Did you see his reaction there?
He said, boy, did I ever need that.
I bet he said, oh, good. Baloney, huh? Look, see, he's really respected by his players. That's a nose guard, Jim Burt, coming over to congratulate him and hug him. Nice play here. Now, nice snap, nice placement by Rutledge, number 17. Very critical to the success of the play. He gets it up there nicely. Now, watch him. He knows he's got it, and he gets, wow, that's it. He needed that.
Officially, they credit him with a 41-yard field goal. That makes it 16-0, and we still have 9 seconds remaining in the first half of play. Giants, very impressive. Can't believe this is the same football team we saw 2 weeks ago in Los Angeles.
No, but everything just sort of disintegrated on them, and they didn't have enough within them that time to just to regroup and get it put back together. And that happened to them last week. After the 21 points that the 49ers scored early in the ball game, it was an even football game.
I thought I saw a smile on Parcells' face there for just a moment. He hasn't had many of those.
I really like this guy. I respect him very much as a coach, having had the opportunity to coach against him a number of times. And I think he's really a good football coach.
Ali Haji Sheikh with the kickoff. Tate is deep. This will be returnable from the 3. Rodney Tate from the 5, 10, 15, up to the 20-yard line. Clock will run down to 4 seconds. So the Falcons will have time for one more play. Well, if you're down 16-0, you just hand off here, or do you go for a desperation?
I think you just hand off now. I don't know what they're going to do. Of course, I tell you,
what would you have to lose by airing it out with a guy with an arm like this guy?
I know.
What do you mean you know?
I'll tell you this. I'm going to give you a story. One night, Monday night game, we're playing the Redskins, my first year as a head coach in pro football, and I call a play just to run out the clock to a running back, Herb Lusk, and a good back, and he runs off tackle, and a linebacker for the Redskins takes it out of his hands and runs it in for a touchdown.
Well, I remember the Giants trying to run out the clock on you once, and it worked the other way, didn't it?
Yeah, it balances out, doesn't it?
It sure does. Last play of the first half, Riggs up the middle for 10 yards. That'll look good in the stats.
All running backs like to carry the ball in that situation because they usually get the nice 10, 15-yard gain.
So, the boos descending upon the Atlanta Falcons as they head to the locker room here at halftime. as the New York Giants, with a strong performance, lead Atlanta 16-0. We'll be back shortly.
Hey, the Giants discover a kicking game. Would you believe it? 1-2 with extra points, and the Sheik nails down that field goal. 16-love is the score right now over the Falcons. Let's take it to the highlights. In case you tuned in a little bit late, this was the first big play for the Giants, and it was Phil Simms, who, even though they've played badly as a team, he's done well as an individual. Zeke Moat, maturing as a tight end, got it down, and it was Rob Carpenter for his first touchdown on the dive. The Giants had the lead, but missed the extra point. And back came the Falcons. It was 4th and goal. Bartkowski on the roll. Banks got him, and Taylor cleaned up. What a goal line stand for Bill Parcells. Now, watch this. After a Mark Haynes interception, Simms under heavy heat. He goes to the back of the end zone. Carpenter takes a shove and holds on to the ball, and that now has the Giants ahead 16-0. Of course, they are at the half. The Jets in Cleveland, you want to know about that game? 17-14 right now. The Browns have been coming back. Freeman McNeil has scored twice for the Jets there. Houston, Miami, would you believe it? Only 1 touchdown for the Dolphins, and yes, Danny Marino, touchdown pass number 18. He hit Clayton with that one, 27 yards out. Chicago and St. Louis. What an entertaining game this has been. 17-14, Irv.
But Chicago gets moving early in the game, Brent. When quarterback Jim McMahon goes up top to Willie Galt, makes a great catch here, putting the Bears on the board quickly. But then the Cardinals come back with their own powerful offense. Here, Randy Love takes a quick tap off his left guard. Touchdown for St. Louis. McMahon getting his club going, goes to his tight end here. It's a great defensive play. Barry Perrin knocks the ball out of Salty's hands and recovers for a touchback. Then when the Bears get the ball back, they go over Walter Payton from the 1-yard line. And here's Otis Anderson late in the second quarter, 9-yard run, and the Cardinals take a lead going in 17-14 in the second quarter.
All right, a couple of AFC scores now. Kansas City over San Diego, and the Kansas City defense has been the story here. They are stomping and storming after Dan Fouts. Cincinnati and New England, it is 14-3. The Bengals with a lead over the Patriots in the second quarter. Tampa Bay and Detroit tied at 7. Steve DeBerg, he got the Buccaneers on the board first. Watch him find Kevin House. He's under all kinds of pressure, tosses it to the corner of the end zone, and House beats 2 defenders, 25 yards. And you know the quarterback controversy. Gary Danielson has replaced the injured Eric Hippo before the first half is over. And on the run on into the end zone, he has the Lions tied now at the half. Philadelphia shutting out the Colts 10-0 in the second quarter of that one. The Rams in New Orleans. I'll tell you something. Vince Ferragamo's not going to get his job back. I mean, Jeff Kemp, the young man out of Dartmouth, he has carved up the Saints defense here this afternoon in this game. It is now 21-3. And take a look at this. There's the first one. Drew Hill with a slick move, and a second one. 25 yards for the touchdown. Eric Dickerson. John Robinson has just been waiting for him to break loose all season long, and finally he does here. 67 yards, his longest run of the season from scrimmage. Down now to the Saint 10-yard line, and from there the Rams scored again. Richard Todd, who has been utilized along with George Rogers, was picked off right here by Nolan Cromwell, who goes all the way in for the Rams' third touchdown. What they're doing is alternating quarterbacks in that game. Ken Stabler, of course, has been used with Earl Campbell. All right, Irv, we've got to poll the folks. All of you out there remember Terry Bradshaw as he used to look, right? The balding hero, the leader of the Pittsburgh Steelers. He now works for us, and look how he showed up today. Glasses and a mustache. I don't recognize him with that look. Send your postcards to Irv Cross. 50. All right. NFL Today continues on CBS after these messages from your local stations. Still to come here on CBS, of course, it's the Washington Redskins and the Dallas Cowboys, tied for first in the NFC's Eastern Division, but the Cowboys have lost 2 games within the division. It's a must-win for Coach Tom Landry, who has elected to stick with Gary Hogeboom rather than switching to Danny White as his starting quarterback. Now, there may be more demanding jobs than coaching teams in the NFL, but don't try to sell that to Landry and the other coaches. Most of them take an almost perverse pride in the way they live on the razor's edge of pressure and uncertainty, as Irv reports.
The pressures that an NFL head coach has, the pressure he puts on himself.
I can honestly say that in every game I've been involved, I could have done a better job.
I think it's tough when you lose. There's great pain, but there's something good about feeling pain, I think, you know, rather than boredom or numbness or something. You don't feel numb in this business. You hurt.
John Robinson is talking after only 1 full year of coaching. It has become a 365 two-a-day drill. The pressure on the sideline goes beyond the office. It spills over to each man's home life. With the public adoration comes a constant second-guessing.
We're so consumed by the hour with your details of your job and preparation to play, you don't get a chance to even jog around the track.
My wife, Helen, has raised 6 children. I haven't raised any. I have 6 children, but she's done all the work.
They got to kick it. They must kick it.
Well, are they going to?
I think they will. They got to kick it, Jack. They can't take a chance of giving the ball to the Cleveland Browns at midfield or in that field position.
They're not going to kick.
No, they're not going to kick it. I thought they were going to kick it.
And that is a desperate move by a desperate team. I can't believe that call.
Why do you squib kick? I don't understand it. Why not kick it away and let your coverage do the job?
Anytime you're in that position where somebody else is saying, hey, you're a jerk, you don't like it, you know.
To me, coaching's always been real simple. I'm going to do the very best job I can. If that's not good enough for them, the hell with them.
Is that there, boys? That's right. It happened fast, boys.
Richard was there. Funny.
What?
Throwing it back inside so I blocked kick.
Yeah, you did the best you could. That's a good job.
Hey, Otis! Otis, you got to block him. You got to block him. You can't jump inside like that.
Regardless of what game it is or anything else, you play like champions every minute out there. Go get them.
When the prayers don't work, the coaches make the difficult human decisions, letting players go, firing assistants, passing judgments. The coach is a teacher, psychologist, and disciplinarian.
I think the big challenge we all have is to win the battle within ourselves and to make people express their God-given talent and skill to the utmost of their capacity. That's what it's all about.
These guys are literally generals. What drives a football coach?
You know, everybody knows the ball players are great competitors, Brent, but all these head coaches of the National Football League are fierce competitors. There are only 28 top jobs in football. These people are on the top, and they're great competitors.
You'll see 2 of the best a little bit later. Joe Gibbs against Tom Landry. Right now, let's send you back to the first game you're enjoying here this afternoon on CBS.
You're tied, Dick. You're tied. Tighten. Welcome back to Atlanta Fulton County Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia, with the New York Giants leading the Atlanta Falcons 16-0 at halftime. Frank Glieber here along with Dick Vermeil. You've got to be impressed by the Giants here in the first half. Despite what you've seen the last couple of weeks, the defense has racked up an interception, a fumble recovery. They've had a goal line stand. Pretty good job.
Very fine job. The defensive line are controlling the line of scrimmage right now and leaving the room for the linebackers to go ahead and flow and make plays. And they're putting the Falcons in the long yardage situation on 3rd down. They're playing real well.
Sims 12 out of 15, and of course, Carpenter's run the football well.
They haven't run it, spectacularly, but what they have done is they've snapped the ball and they have run the football in terms of 2 and 3 and 4 or 5 yards at a time.
What's happened to the Falcons offense?
Well, I think you have to give the credit to the Giants defense, and they've just, they've stumbled around here in the first half. You can see the possessions in front of you right there. Only one nice drive, and then they turn the ball over, and they've been dominated by the defense, really.
Well, that's a pretty good offensive football team, and we'll see if the Giants can keep it up. 16-0 here at halftime. Back with the second half kickoff in just a moment. Second half about to get underway here at Atlanta Fulton County Stadium. And Mick Luckhurst, who we haven't seen.
No, he hasn't had much of an opportunity. They get down there in those, the goal line situations, and they take 4 shots at it and don't get it in.
So Luckhurst getting ready to kick off with the Atlanta Falcons. He's had a sensational year in the field goal kicking department. Something about the Falcons we should mention is that basically they are a second half team.
They are. They've done a great job, especially, Frank, in the 4th quarter. It's unbelievable, their stats in the 4th quarter. What is it? They've outscored their opponents in the 4th quarter in 11 straight football games, like 108-35 or whatever it is, and give or take a point.
What does that tell you? Conditioning or what?
No, I don't think it's all conditioning, because all football teams are good conditioning. It's as some teams take a little longer to really get going, and the staff does a good job of adjusting what they're doing with the ball and picking offensive plays and defensive to play. And it's a combination of a lot of things. Many times it's a mental attitude too.
So the Giants on the receiving end of the kickoff for the first time this afternoon. McConkey fields it at the goal line, out to the 10. Great tackle off the specialty teams at the 11-yard line. Flying down the field was Tim Tyrell, number 32.
That's Sarinsky. Sarinsky did it, Frank. They call this guy Sarinsky.
After the commercial of the same name.
He locks the ball up nicely. He starts upfield. He's following Cephas right there, number 31, and the guy comes right in behind him. Did a nice job of making that play. That was spectacular special teams play.
Phil McConkey, the return man, the answer to the burning question, can a seasick sailor find happiness in the NFL?
No way.
Not on that particular play, but Giants will start this drive with very poor field position as a result. Phil Simms, outstanding first half. 12 out of 15 for 139 yards. And he was pretty well picking them apart, particularly from the shotgun. We got a problem here? Let's see.
Frank, he didn't have to throw the ball downfield very far to get that first down. That's what was nice.
I don't know if we got a clock problem here or not, but we've got a conference going on amongst various officials here before we put the ball into play with the first play from scrimmage in the second half.
There's Bill Reynolds, number 53, line judge.
The clock has gone berserk on us again.
You know, that happens a lot here in this stadium.
15:46, that's interesting time.
I've been in here at this stadium a few times and run out of time.
Your Eagles used to have some wars down here at the Falcons.
We had some real wars with these people going through Lehman Bennett's years here at coaching, and Chris Gardner was some intense football. We lost a playoff game. The very first playoff game I ever coached in as a head coach was in this stadium. The first, what they call that game, you know, it slipped my mind right now. First wild card game. Wild card game.
They still got it.
Yeah.
Well, they've got it straightened out now. 14 minutes, 45 seconds left to play in the third period. First and 10 for the Giants. And it may be up to the Falcons defense to make something happen here to get Atlanta back in this ball game. Simms comes out throwing here in the second half. Manuel at the 25, 30. He can move. 50 and down to the 47-yard line. On the first play from scrimmage, the rookie Lionel Manuel.
That was really well executed by Phil Simms. He did a nice job. Now you were going to watch him drop straight back. Nice on first down. Gets nice man-to-man coverage, just what he wanted. Nice square in pattern right there. Now you can see the tackle miss right there. Now watch him make this move. Boom, boom. He gets a block downfield by Gray, number 83. There he is. Pulled down by number 37, Kenny Johnson.
Pressure here on Simms.
He paid the price. Boom, right darn near. Oh, it wasn't quite as bad as I thought it was.
Well, he'll take that for a 42-yard completion anytime.
That's what you call paying the price.
Lionel Manuel, 7th-round draft choice from the University of Pacific. With the big reception of the Giants have a first down at the Atlanta 46. The give is to Carpenter. Carpenter with 43 yards rushing in the first half. His best running day this year was 83 on the ground against the Dallas Cowboys in that big Giant victory at Giant Stadium. That time he carries to the 43 for a pickup of 3. It'll be 2nd and 7. Giants leading 16-0. Combination offense, defense did the job. Some impressive numbers for Phil Simms so far. From the Falcon 43 on 2nd and 7. Simms, little toss, going to Carpenter inside the 40, 35. First down at the 33-yard line. John Rady and Buddy Curry, the linebackers for the Falcons, collaborating on the stop.
I don't think that Rob Carpenter, number 26, was the primary thought in the quarterback's mind at that time. I think he wanted to go downfield with the ball. The linebackers were underneath it. Good pass defense. Bobby Butler did a nice job overplaying corner. And so he just dropped it off to his running back, getting that positive gain.
First and 10 Giants at the Atlanta 33-yard line. Couple of touchdowns, a field goal, and a bobbled extra point. As they continue to run it well, they move it down to the 30-yard line. It is warm, temperature in the 80s, and as you can see, Butch Woolfolk sweating it out.
Here's Buddy Curry, the middle linebacker, number 50. You can see how it is to play middle linebacker. You're always going to be where the ball is. He finds the ball and he makes the play. He's the leading tackler. He's been the leading tackler for 4 years in a row.
Woolfolk 5 carries for 16 yards.
You know, Curry played on the same college team as Lawrence Taylor.
He did indeed.
Pretty good pair of linebackers.
I would say so. 2nd and 7 for the Giants at the Falcon 30-yard line. Here's Simms back in the pocket. See some running room. Finally delivers. Had Moat wide open and overthrew him.
Good rush. Yeah, good rush. He had to step up inside, and he was running forward and not used to being a runner in terms of throwing on the move. He just threw it a little too hard. Quarterbacks make that mistake. The ball goes a little further when you're running straight and throw it like a javelin, you know, and he just overthrew it.
That'll set up a 3rd down. Still needing 7 for the 1st down at the 30-yard line. Zeke Moat came to the Giants primarily as a blocker and been doing a lot of catching as well.
Curious to see if they play him in a zone coverage right now with this 3rd and 8, or they go to the man-to-man type coverage. Showing blitz, Frank.
Sims from the shotgun. He's been successful.
Coming after.
Quick throw, Bobby Johnson. Catchable ball, I thought.
Yeah, he has to make that catch. He has to go down lower and make the catch, but it's also good coverage by James Britt. Now you can see these people right here are going to come in there and get after him. Number 27 and number 58 going to come in there and create the heat. Therefore, no safeties here. They go ahead and throw the little slant in. Now see him coming up in there. Linemen do a nice job of picking it all up. They throw the slant in. No safeties inside. The ball was low down to the left knee. He doesn't make the catch.
27 Pridemore and 58 Fry that time on the blitz. Ali Haji Sheik from 47 yards away. Gonna be long enough. It is no good. Hook this one. So the Sheik is 1 out of 3 after hitting the 41-yarder just before halftime. And the Falcons dodge a bullet here at Atlanta Fulton County Stadium. Timeout.
Dan,
Falcons 1st and 10 from the line of scrimmage after the missed field goal attempt, which is their 30-yard line. Their first possession of the second half, they trail at 16-0. Let's see if we can tell what kind of adjustments they've made here at halftime. Barkowski decides to come out throwing the football. Let's see, is it ruled an incompleted forward pass? Yes.
Carson Gardner intercepted that on the bobble.
Intended for Arthur Cox, number 88, the tight end, who bobbled it momentarily, and then it fell.
I think I'd bobble it if Harry Carson were standing real close to me, too, Frank.
And Lawrence Taylor was in the neighborhood as well.
You can see at the end of the play right now, he's got it there, and he bobbles it up in the air, and they're almost picked off of there by the safety, number 44, Pete Shaw.
Numbers on Barkowski, 4 out of 10, 68 yards. And, of course, he had 1 picked off. 2nd and 10. Kane in motion. Offside somebody. Downfield and hit hard as he caught the football and wound up in the nickel seats is Stacey Bailey, number 82. So we've got the penalty marker down at the line of scrimmage, which may negate a 21-yard pickup unless they call it against the Giants.
I think it was against the Giants.
Defense offside, number 75. Refused the penalty. 1st down.
These Falcon fans had that much to cheer about. Here's a hit for you.
Boy, these kind of fade patterns always create that kind of contact. That's Terry Kennard, number 43, the number 1 pick from last year, coming over to make that. He can really put the leather to you. I mean, the plastic shoulder pad to you.
No more leather.
No more leather.
That moves it to midfield, a 21-yard pickup, one of the longest gains of the afternoon for the Falcons. It is 1st and 10 from midfield. Bailey to the left side. Jackson set in the slot inside of him. Now Benson in motion, and Kane takes the handoff. Short yardage for Kane, maybe a yard on the play. As you saw the H-back there, Benson, number 87, trying to lead the blocking.
You'll see the man going in motion, number 87, Benson. Now he's going to kick out at the point of attack. He's looking for a man. There's penetration underneath. George Martin, number 75, fouls up the whole play, coming inside out. Nice job by George Martin, the veteran defensive end.
Call it no gain. There's Benson, the rookie from Purdue, who's going to find this year for the Falcons, one of the bigger tight ends or H-backs around.
I think he is the biggest, believe me. He's 255 pounds.
2nd and 10. That's more like a guard.
Yeah.
Barkowski. Taylor was blitzing on the play. Pass completed. Alfred Jackson. Great concentration by the veteran wide receiver out of the University of Texas. It'll be a 1st down at the 35.
He has pressure on him here. He's getting back there. He lays it up nicely. Now you can see some little heat coming to the left. He lays it. Good coverage. Everybody on him right there, but he couldn't make the play. Lawrence Taylor does a nice job of getting some heat on him. See him right there. He's being picked up again by an offensive lineman, number 62, Brett Miller.
So the Falcons, with their most impressive drive of the day, with the exception of the early moments of the ball game when they drove to the 1 and then were thwarted on a great goal line stand by the Giants. Falcons with a 1st and 10 at the Giant 33. Benson in motion. Bartkowski back to throw. Quick flip out to the far sideline. Again to Alfred Jackson. In the neighborhood of the 27, that will be close to a first down.
Alfred Jackson is now the number 5 all-time receiver in the history of the Falcon franchise, passing Kenny Burrow, who was the number 5 receiver.
He's been a great receiver, made some tremendous plays. There's Bartkowski looking to the sideline for the signal, which Dick was talking to you about before. They do it a little different than most teams. Maybe it's a little more complicated. 2nd down, 2. Kane, the running back, should have the first if everything's in order at the 22-yard line before he shoved back Taylor, number 56, and Jim Burt, number 64, defensively, and also George Martin in on that play. Yeah, yesterday we were talking to Henning about Taylor, and he said in Washington they used Joe Washington to block him.
Yeah, I know it. You know, Joe Washington's not very big, but he's well built, and he has very fine fundamental blocking technique. And many times people break down in blocking him because they do it poorly from a fundamental standpoint rather than a physical standpoint.
As you can see, this has been a problem quarter for the Giants all year. 1st and 10 from the 22. Kane gets a yard to the 21 up the middle. Martin, number 75, on the stop. The fans don't like the conservative call. They feel perhaps the Falcons have bloodied their brows a little bit too much up the middle.
That was a nice play by George Martin. You know, he's a 5-time winner of the Byron Whizzer-White Award within the Giant organization, which is given to the player that contributes most to the football team.
Seeing a lot more action today because of McGriff's injury. He's normally their pass rushing specialist. 2nd down, 8. Kane has had 14 carries for 28 yards. It's only a 2-yard average, and Bartkowski wants a timeout as Arthur Cox took off in motion.
I think they were lined up wrong.
Timeout here in the 3rd quarter in Atlanta. Falcons have a 2nd down. They need 8 for the first down with the ball just outside the Giants' 20-yard line. Atlanta trailing 20-0. They need to get on the scoreboard badly to get back in this game. Bartkowski under pressure delivers. Jackson at the 9. First down, Atlanta.
Nice little comeback pattern.
That's 3 catches in this drive.
Here he is now. He's playing right out to Perry Williams, number 23. Look at him push him deep. Shoulders forward. Now watch him come back to the outside line. A little reverse pivot move. Very nice job. Nice job of reaching up there and catching the ball with both hands. No choice. Had to really get up there.
Alfred told us yesterday as Bill Parcells looks on, Jackson said he had a little wager with 3 guys from OU on his football team. He went to Texas, and the 3 rookies, of course, went to Oklahoma. Here's Kane. Trying to sweep. Cuts back inside. About a yard or so. From the reaction of this crowd, every time the Falcons try to run the football, they don't like it. I guess they want them to throw it every down.
It wouldn't matter if they're ahead, but they're behind right now, so they don't, you know, they want to interject their own philosophy into the ball game.
Riggs is coming back into the lineup for Atlanta, so Kane will come out and limping slightly. So Kane may have been shaken up on that last carry. Looks like he's favoring his right side.
He might have hurt his right shoulder.
Back in the lineup. 2nd down, 8. From the 9-yard line. Actually 2nd and goal to go from this point for all intents and purposes. Riggs drives it down to about the 3-yard line.
That was the wingback trap by the H-back coming in and trapping. Then he broke it all the way back out to the right. Now you can see the wingback coming in motion. See him go in on the nose guard. Bang, he gets in there. There's no hole, so he bounced it outside on Cox block. Number 88 does a nice job of moving toward that goal line.
That'll carry it inside the 1. It'll be 3rd and goal.
It looks like Atlanta has regained an edge mentally. They're back after it.
Tyrell, 32, coupled with Riggs, 42 in the backfield. They go with Riggs, and Riggs drives into the end zone. Touchdown. Showing great power.
he's a big, strong back, and his size, up there in the 230 pounds. Now watch right here. Carson comes right there and spins him around and doesn't get his arms wrapped around him, and you have to wrap your arms around that big guy like that. Gerald Riggs, number 42, takes it in. 230 pounds of him.
Mick Luckhurst on to try the extra point. He's perfect this year, 18 out of 18, and keeps that string intact. So the Falcons have scored. We'll be back in just a moment. Well, these fans here in Atlanta finally have something to cheer about as the Falcons are on the scoreboard. And Atlanta with some momentum as Luckhurst gets ready to kick off. Impressive scoring drive. And Riggs taking it the final yard. Key catches, 3 of them by Alfred Jackson in that drive. McConkey at the 5-yard line. 15. Stop just short of the 20.
Frank, the tempo of the game is changing. Atlanta all of a sudden has decided they're going to play. That mental edge is so important in football games.
Coming up next, the Cowboys and the Redskins in the big showdown at RFK Stadium.
Can you imagine how that stadium will be? Can you imagine how that stadium will be?
It'll be rocking. Redskins, of course, have won 4 in a row, and the Cowboys in a bit of a slump, and this could be a very important game for Gary Hogeboom.
It might be a critical game for Gary.
You could see Danny White back in there if the Cowboys don't pick up. You'll see it all on CBS right after this one. Fans have certainly gotten into this game now. They are roaring here in Atlanta. First down from the 19-yard line. Sims, who's done extremely well with those short throws to Carpenter. And Carpenter across the 25 out to the 27 for a pickup of about 7 yards. Bobby Butler, 23, and Buddy Curry, number 50, on the stop.
Throwing to that fullback out of their backfield, Frank, is a little bit easier against the Falcon defense because the outside linebacker on the strong side of the formation is lining up back inside over the tackle area in that 4-3 defense. So he has a little further to go to get outside there.
Now Sims has now hit 15 out of 20, and most have been of the short variety. 97 yards throwing. Second down, and a long yard for the first down. Actually closer to 2, and Carpenter trying to pick up the first. Did not get it. Rick Bryan, number 77, and Dan Benish, number 69, on the stop.
Rick Bryan, there he is in the middle of your screen, number 77. Belcher, number 73, comes over on him, and Ard, number 67, but he controls him, throws him off, and makes the play and proves why he was picked number 1.
Well, we saw him against New Orleans in the first game of the season, and he will always remember his first NFL tackle was for a safety.
The coaches tell me that he is one of these players that's never satisfied with his performance. You go up to him and say, "Geez, Brian, you did a great job. You played well. We liked you on the films." And he says, "Coach, I'm not happy. I'm not happy with how I played. I know I can play better." Really a motivated guy.
As a coach, you got to love to hear that. It's R.C. Thielman. We were talking about the offensive lineman for the Atlanta Falcons. I don't know.
Maybe you got a camera. How'd you like to get hit in the head with that thing?
He's been playing all year. Third down, about 1.5 feet for the first. Big play for the Giants as the Falcons have the momentum. And it'll be close as Carpenter tries to go up over the top. And the Falcons think they've stopped him. Al Richardson, 56.
This comes down to a matter of placement. It's a judgment placement of the ball by the official. It's close. The linebacker did a great job of getting up over the top and hitting him while he jumped in the air. Everybody's official right now. Look at Belcher.
Benson was in on the play. He thinks Thomas Benson, in fact, both Bensons, Brad Benson of the Giants, they both think that they got it. They didn't get it. Obviously, you do not go for it at this point. No way.
But you can feel and you can see as you watch the players come off the field and on the bench and all that, there is a different psychological momentum change in their minds right now, Frank, than with the team that we watched in the first half. They're not the same group.
Willie Curran, number 89, who has replaced Billy White Shoes Johnson as the punt returner for the Atlanta Falcons waiting. Jennings got a 48-yarder off, and this will be close to that. Curran lost the ball at the 25-yard line. Mad scramble for the football, but I believe he did get it back, yes.
They could almost call interference there, I think.
You've got to give that receiver room, don't you?
Yeah, and he's up there. He's going to try to catch the football, but Well, it's actually his own people that interfered. You can see Flowers, number 37, diving in after there, but he couldn't get there quick enough.
45 yards on the punt. We'll be back shortly. The Atlanta Falcons defense getting a breather after having stopped the Giants on that 3rd and short yardage. Now watch as their offensive brethren go to work. 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line. Giants lead at 16-7, but the momentum right now is with Atlanta. Swings it out to Riggs, and Riggs takes several Giants head on and gets maybe a yard or two. Riggs, thus far since coming into the ball game, has picked up 31 yards rushing in 5 carries, averaging better than 6 yards a rush. And Kane, in 15 carries, had picked up only 29 before going out hurt. Bring you an update on the Bears and the Cardinals. 3rd quarter action. Looks like a good one.
Those are 2 very fine NFC teams. We saw both of them, and they're both capable of winning divisions.
And the Cardinals will be involved in one of our big games next week on CBS as they take on the Washington Redskins at Busch Stadium.
Cardinals want to prove they can beat the Redskins. They found a way to beat the Cowboys. Now they want to make that other step.
2nd down, 8 for the Falcons. At their 26, they go with the draw to Riggs, takes it to the 29 for a pickup of 3 yards. Harry Carson, number 53. On the stop. Time remaining in quarter number 3, right at 4 minutes and counting. There's the veteran Carson.
He is a player. I'll tell you, if I were going to start a new franchise tomorrow as a head football coach and I was going to pick one inside linebacker to play for me, I would take him.
As he is now or at his prime?
As he is right now. He's a football player.
Now, there are those who say he may be a little past his prime.
No, I don't believe that.
3rd down, 6 needed for the 1st down. Falcons at their 29-yard line. Riggs, sore ankle and all. Bartkowski throws. We get a penalty. Someone got a piece of it at the line of scrimmage. Might have been Jim Burt, number 64. If it is against the Falcons for holding, I'm sure the Giants will decline because it was a 3rd down play. And that will force the Falcons into a punting posture.
Offensive holding, number 61. Decline a penalty. It's 4th down.
The word on Lynn Kane is that he suffered a thigh injury. It's uncertain if he'll return.
Scully's really hot about that call. He evidently did not think he held the man, and he was really hot.
Have you ever seen an offensive lineman who thought he held anyone?
Some of them know when they do it, but I think Scully probably really felt he had a gripe coming because he's a very mature player and a good common sense guy. I don't think he would complain if he thought it was just.
McConkey fielding the high punt by Giacomo at the 30, gets a 5-yard return. And
Zarinsky again.
Little Phil may have a tough time getting out of bed tomorrow morning. Somebody's got to block this guy.
He has really been doing a nice job. Look at that. You're up there. You're at the mercy of your block now. You get started. You're heading upfield, and here he comes right in. Watch him flash right there. Nobody blocked him.
That's
some people. Number 44, Tate, tried to get a shot at him, but couldn't do it.
New York Giants with the football. 1st and 10 from the 35-yard line. Giants leading 16-7, but the Falcons have come back strong here in the 2nd half. That's little Manuel again at the 40, 35, 30. Manuel to the 20 and down at the 16. Lionel Manuel.
The coverage rolled up on him. You can see he has time now. He sets in and waits for the pattern to develop. He ran in behind the double coverage right there. Zone defense. Now he becomes the ball carrier. Rating number 59 reaches for him, can't make it. Tom Proydmore misses him. This guy can run with the football. LeBaron would have liked to throw him passes at UOP. Huh?
Well, I would think so, as a matter of fact. Lionel Manuel, a minnow among mastodons.
Where'd you get that one? I just happened to find that one.
Oh. 1st down at the 17-yard line. Woolfolk on the carry. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Harold Parcells told us about Manuel a couple of weeks ago, that he makes such great cuts. Remember?
Yeah, he really has a great cutting ability, and he has the good balance, runs with a good base, and then he can make those darting moves.
49 yards, the pickup on the pass play as Manuel comes back into the lineup. Now that isn't either. That's Johnson, 88 instead of 86. He and Johnson look very much alike. Gray wide to the left side. The with Johnson in the slot inside of him up at the top of your screen. 2nd and 10 from the 18. The Giants need a score here. Sims under pressure had Moat wide open at the 5. He could have walked into the end zone.
Pitts, number 74, the defensive left end, did a nice job of getting some heat on him right there and made him throw it a little bit higher than he would have if there was no pressure. You can see Pitts, number 74. Now, see, he's isolated right. He gets the rush. He's on Benson, number 63. Carl Nelson, rather. Carl even tried to trip him. Woolfolk didn't do a very good job of blocking him right there. I think Sims ought to talk to Woolfolk about that. That was a poor effort.
If they'd have given him a second more, he would have had the touchdown because Moat was wide open. 3rd and 10 for the Giants. They're at the Falcons' 17-yard line.
Showing blitz, Frank.
1:40 left in the 3rd quarter. Here they come. They're after Sims. He gets it away, looking for Moat, and dropped it in behind him.
You see, Sims was upset. Look at him. Is he mad because he didn't think Moat looked? Moat evidently had a sight adjustment to use and go into when they showed the blitz, and he didn't do it, and Sims is hot. See, that a breakdown like that costs you a touchdown.
Well, it's cost him a touchdown in the last 2 plays.
Yeah.
Both times to Moat, who was wide open. Ali Haji Sheikh, 1 out of 3, but this will be his closest attempt. This is a 34-yard effort. His other 3 efforts were 41 or beyond. This one's good. So the Sheik hits from 34 yards away. He's hit from 41, and he's missed from 42 and 47. And the Giants have a little breathing room here with 1:32 left to play in the 3rd quarter. The Giants leading the Falcons 19-7. Ali Haji Sheikh prepares to kick off. The deep man, Rodney Tate, number 44, formerly with the Cincinnati Bengals. Short kickoff, fielded at the 12, 20, 25. Hurdles across the 30. We get a flag on the play as Tate carries it to the 34-yard line.
There was a vicious knockdown block out there, Frank. Oh, my God, I could feel it from here.
And normally that will go against the receiving team.
So what else is new?
The familiar blocking from above the waist from behind will cost the Falcons field position here.
The Falcons are one of the most penalized teams in football, averaging 9.3 penalties a game.
On a run back team, illegal block.
It's on Cliff Benson, number 87.
See, Cliff Benson, number 87, coming in from the left side of your screen, down the left-hand corner. Now, right there, he hit him right there in the back. Illegal block, no question about it.
That's a call we see too often, I think.
Well, that's a clip, regardless of what you call it.
Yeah.
You know, the one I don't like to see is when they get the hands out or something like that and give a little shove, and then it's called. But that you have to call.
1st and 10 for the Falcons, who are moved back to their 14-yard line. They trail it 19-7. The H-back, Benson in motion. Riggs up the middle, 25 out to the 30. Fumbled the ball after the play had been whistled dead. That's a 1st down, Atlanta, at the 27-yard line. And boy, it did open up that time for Riggs, but he may have re-injured that ankle.
Watch the wingback now coming in motion right here. He's going to come in, moving in like that, and he's going to trap that nose guard, opening up that hole. Now watch this. As he comes in motion, pow, he gives him a nice shot right there. The guard does a nice job of getting right up in on him right there. There's a nice hole. R.C. Tillman, 68, did a nice job of cleaning it out on that linebacker. Boy, that was a well-executed trap.
Well, the Falcons may be down to their 4th running back because Riggs was shaken up on the play with an ankle injury. For an NFL Today report, here's Brent in New York.
Frank, this is why Irv Cross believes Walter Payton is the best all-around running back ever to play, including Jim Brown. Watch him on the lead ahead of Jim McMahon. He sticks his helmet in there, takes a linebacker out of the way. McMahon to the 1. Bears score. Cardinals come right back, and now they lead at 24-21. Back to Frank.
Time remaining in our game, under 50 seconds. 1st and 10. Riggs lift off the field, and Cliff Austin has now come in at the running back slot. So the Falcons this year are down to their number 4 running back. They lost Andrews, of course. Riggs went out with the injury. Kane went out a bit earlier. And on comes Cliff Austin.
He's only carried the ball 3 times coming into this game for 4 yards.
Give you a rundown on some other scores.
There's a nice tight one. The Jets in Cleveland, Frank.
Tampa Bay and Detroit tied in the fourth.
Detroit struggling, aren't they?
And Miami finally got on track in the third. Our score 19-7. The Giants leading. Second down 7 for the Falcons at their 30-yard line with Cliff Austin in the one-back offense. Bartkowski, good protection, goes over the middle. Fine job by Floyd Hodge, number 83, after catching the football. Carl Banks eventually making the stop. That's close to another first down at the 38-yard line. And time has run out here in the third period at the end of the third quarter mark. 19-7, Giants. Here in Atlanta, they say that the fourth quarter belongs to the Falcons. We'll show you why in just a second as Gerald Riggs returns to the lineup. Ankle injury and all, replacing Cliff Austin. First and 10 from the 38-yard line. The fake to Riggs. Bartkowski goes near sideline to Arthur Cox. Did not fool the Giants. Nothing whatsoever. Banks, a very active linebacker, the first linebacker picked in the draft this year. This is why they say in Atlanta the fourth quarter belongs to the Falcons. That's quite a stat.
You know, and it's amazing how much that kind of thought helps you right now as you go into the huddle as an offensive football team. They really believe they can whip people in the fourth quarter. They're going to have the opportunity to prove it, Frank.
Henning heard you. He's probably saying to himself, I hope Vermeil knows what he's talking about.
He knows I don't.
Second and 11. Loss of a yard in the play back to the 37-yard line. Lloyd Hodge is in motion. He's the H-back. Bartkowski blitzed by Taylor. He got it away. Hitting Hodge at the 45, takes it across the 50 to the 48, and Lawrence Taylor helps Mr. Bartkowski to his feet and says, I'll be back shortly.
Hodge filling in for Billy Whiteshoes at that position, and that, you know, those long yardage situations, did a nice job of beating the man-to-man coverage, and Kenny Daniel did a really good job of fighting him for it, but boy, that was tough. Here's old Lawrence Taylor when he rushes. See, now he's rushing from the opposite side that he normally does there. The back missed him, but he had so far to go, the quarterback got rid of the ball before he could get there.
First and 10 for the Falcons at the Giant 47-yard line after the 17-yard pickup. Bartkowski again under pressure, pumps it once. Rainbow down in the end zone, and it falls incomplete, intended for Bailey. And the fans thought he was held up down there by Williams.
Actually, it looked more like offensive pass interference than defensive pass interference. Perry Williams did a nice job. His body right there. Now the offender's trying to go through him there. See the offensive player there, Stacey Bailey, 82, actually tried to go through his body for the ball.
Williams has been a big surprise this year for the Giants. He was a 7th-round pick a year ago from North Carolina State. Broke his foot before the season started. Was on injured reserve all year, and he plays pretty good pass defense.
You know, when we saw him against the Rams, he played corner that day as well as we saw anybody play corner. You know, and he's the Atlantic Coast Conference 200-meter sprint champion, and has beaten a lot of the guys that were in the Olympic Games.
Second and 10, Falcons at the Giant 47. Again, Hodge in motion. They go with Riggs.
Boy, is he low as he goes through there. Isn't he? His shoulder pads down, those knees coming up, pumping, not giving you much of a target to hit.
Takes it to the 41-yard line. Good for 6 in the play. Harry Carson, number 53, stops him. Riggs, former number 1 draft choice out of Arizona State, got his big chance this year when William Andrews was injured and responded with that great opening day game against the New Orleans Saints.
He's a tough player, too, coming out of Frank Cush's program at Arizona State. You know, they come out of there pretty tough.
Third down, let's call it a short 5 for the first down for the Falcons at the Giants 41. This time Jackson in motion and someone offside.
Well, it looked like maybe Van Oort snapped the ball early. Now, I don't know if that's true or not. But maybe he doesn't have enough experience. Huh?
Could be. Illegal procedure. I think Ben forgot to turn his mic on, but reading his lips, I think he said illegal procedure.
They call him Hemingway. See that beard?
Looks like you.
It's gray, too.
16 years in the league.
What a fine guy. He's playing his 209th game today.
It's the oldest lineman in pro football. Only Two players in the league older than he is are Jim Hart and Jan Stenerud. Third down. And after the penalty, they're looking at 10 yards for the first down from the 47-yard line of the New York Giants. Hodge, the motion man. Bartkowski, flag down. Pass incomplete. Intended for Bailey in heavy traffic.
They're going to call holding back there. I'll bet you any money.
That's it.
Yeah.
Holding against Atlanta. So again, chances are the Giants will decline because it will put Atlanta in a situation where they have to punt.
Number 78 declined the penalty. It's fourth down.
78. Mike Kenny almost never has holding called on him. Very few penalties ever called on this guy.
The great veteran Pro Bowler missed a couple of games this year for the first time.
You know what his hobby is, Frank? He's a gourmet cook.
Everybody's got to have something, yeah? McCarthy is deep. Giacomaro to do the punting. Ooh. Williams got awful close to that one. McCarthy tried to keep from out of bounds, but couldn't do it. As momentum carries him out at the 12-yard line. And that's where the Giants will put it in play with 12-16 left to play in the game. Frank Glieber along with Dick Vermeil. 12 minutes, 16 seconds remaining. The Giants led at halftime, 16-0. They've added a field goal. The Falcons have tacked on a touchdown. So it's 19-7. And New York with the ball in a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory at the 12. Markers are down as Wolford tries to get outside and is run out of bounds for a loss of about 5 back at the 7. Never did turn the corner.
Couldn't get out there. I think the Falcons were offsides, though. Boy, they're getting a lot of penalties. You can see why they're the second most penalized team in football.
Defense was in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty and first down.
It's actually a 10-yard play when you count the loss.
You can see the left side of the line. Pitts right there, number 74. Jump across, the ball snap. He didn't get all the way back. He's in the neutral zone. 5 yards.
That'll move it up to the 17-yard line. It'll be 1st and 5 for the Giants from that point. The second most penalized team in the league. And that'll catch up to you sooner or later. Cost you a ball game or two.
The Giants have got to start making some first downs now.
Bobby Johnson in motion, number 88. Sims to Carpenter. Nice cutback that time by Carpenter, and he's very close to the first down yardage at the 22-yard line.
He did a real nice job of blocking and rather cutting back on it. Looked like he was going to go outside. The defense started flowing, and back he went. Take a look at Don Smith here, number 65, trying to defense that play. William Roberts is turning him out. Now watch, he's fighting. He's mad. He's going to get, hey, get out of my way. Now he's going to pull the helmet off. Son of a gun, I'm mad, he said. Lyle Alzado Jr.
Yes. Mr. Roberts wondering what happened to his hat and just hoping that his head didn't go with it.
Oh, my gosh.
1st and 10 from the 23. Giants trying to work on the clock. Carpenter stumbled and fell as he hit the line of scrimmage. And it'll be 2nd and 10. This Giant offensive line, Parcells says, I don't want any more small guys. Bring me the elephants. So he's got those baby blockers across from left to right. They go 270, 270, 280, 285, and 276.
And that's early in the year. Sometimes during the season, they go ahead and put on a couple pounds.
Got a player shaken up, and I don't have his number for you right now. I believe it's Zeke Moat, the tight end, having his right knee looked at. We've got a timeout in Atlanta. Zeke Moat, the Giants, getting his right knee worked on. Here's how it happened.
You can see Pitts, number 74, is going to rush to the outside. Now, Moat sliding inside, trying to help. You don't see anyone hit his knee. Evidently, he just caught it wrong. The cleats in the turf and twisted it. And he's walking off right now, and I don't think it'll be a serious injury.
And looking on with great interest, there's Eddie LeBaron, the general manager of the Atlanta Falcons, maybe the smallest starting quarterback in the history of the NFL at 5'7". Says he's getting about 3 phone calls a week now. People asking him about Doug Flutie.
Wondering if he can play. One player one time walked into him and said that he didn't think that Eddie could understand what it was like to be an NFL player, not realizing he was one.
Now Flutie's not much bigger than that, maybe 5'9" or so. Carpenter on the carry on 2nd and 11 is dropped for a loss back at the 20-yard line.
They ran a safety blitz in there and had everybody coming up inside. There was no place to go.
Tom Mulledy, number 81, has come in at tight end, replacing Moak. Pitts has been very active. Rams putting it on New Orleans pretty good.
Coming back off that loss last week to Atlanta.
Miami leading Houston. Kansas City and San Diego in a tight one.
Philadelphia doing well.
3rd down and 14. Next week, the Giants and the Eagles in one of our key CBS games that many of you will be watching. On 3rd and 14, Sims on the rollout, looks downfield and trying to hit Manuel. Good defense by Britt. Number 26, James Britt with the knockdown. And we got a little altercation back at the line of scrimmage. There's just one red shirt in there, and then Pitts comes in too. Right in the middle of that thing,
Kenny Johnson.
Yeah, Kenny Johnson, the defensive back.
At 5'11", 172, I think the best thing he could do is backpedal in that situation. Get out of there. Those guys are too big.
It's a twig in there in a land of tree trunks. Yeah. Get out of there. No flag. It'll be 4th and 14.
Great job of pass defense by James Britt. One-on-one, there was a safety blitz up inside. He had to cover the man by himself, and he did an excellent job of doing that.
All right, let's play ball. Jennings to do the punting, and Willie Curran is deep, respecting Jennings' leg. He's all the way back to the 30-yard line. Jennings punting from the 5. We get a flag. Yet another marker. This is a short kick. Bounces at the 50 to the Falcons' 45. And will be down at about the 46, but the marker is thrown at the line of scrimmage. Let's see if they have to bring it back. Ben Dreith getting the word there from the head linesman, who is Dale Williams. And Ben says, let's come on back. We have something to talk about. Looks like illegal procedure against the Giants is going to be declined.
Illegal motion on the offense. Decline a penalty. First down the other way.
Timeout here in Atlanta. Ten minutes, 3 seconds remaining. Bobby Butler, the Falcon defender, came to the sideline. Might have pulled a hamstring on that last series. 1st and 10, Falcons at the 45. Riggs outside, crosses the 50, and down to the 49-yard line. Reminds you a little bit of O.J. Anderson, who we saw last week with the Cardinals. He's a little bit shorter, but he runs about as hard.
Yeah, he runs as hard. No question. He doesn't have as much experience, of course, but I don't know how important experience carrying the ball is.
Well, he's working on a bad ankle. He went out once favoring that ankle. But with Kane hurt, suffering a thigh injury, Riggs is going to have to do it, bad ankle and all.
He's the kind of guy that once the ball gets under his arm, he probably forgets about the pain.
2nd and 4 for the Falcons at the Giant 49. Another flag. Riggs takes the short toss. Gets a couple of yards to the 47-yard line. As the blocking caved in on him rather quickly. Gary Reasons, number 55. And Carl Banks, number 58 on the stop. Hey, Parcells may have found something in Banks today. He's been active.
Well, you know, he's been waiting for his opportunity to play, and now he has it. He better take advantage of it.
He's filling in for Andy Hedden, who was injured last Monday night against San Francisco. Procedure penalty against the Falcons.
It's interesting what they called him as his nickname was in college. Remember that?
Banks?
Yeah. Killer.
Killer.
Because his summer job was working as a grave digger. Can you believe that? I never heard a guy have that kind of
illegal formation on the offense. Illegal formation.
That's a 5-yard walk-off. Will move the Falcons back to the 47-yard line. They've been penalized 6 times for a total of 30 yards. Coming up next, Cowboys and the Redskins, the battle for supremacy in the NFC Eastern Division.
Dorsett's going to have a hard time getting his first 100-yard game against those people.
Oh, they do defense the run well. Keep in mind, the Giants just 1 game behind with a record of 3-3. They lead this one 19-7. Falcons with a 2nd and 9. And that's Austin. Number 39, we got another flag. That's 3 flags in a row in as many plays.
I think they're going to call him for hooking. Let's see.
So he's given Riggs a breather. Riggs may be troubled a little bit by that bad ankle. Cliff Austin, actually the 4th string running back for the Atlanta Falcons, getting his opportunity because of injuries to the 3 guys ahead of him. As Ben Greith unravels this.
Offensive holding number 57.
The self-destruct job on this drive here by the Falcons.
57, Jeff Van Moot.
There he is. You know, we were told, has kept a diary of every day that he has spent in the National Football League, and they've had people approach him that thought it'd make a great book, but he doesn't want to do it.
Dan Henning offered him $500 for it, and he wouldn't sell it to him.
Hodge, number 83, comes in as the H-back in the pass set as Henning looks on.
Henning says we plan our work, then we work our plan. And that second phase is not going real well for him right now.
Not so far. 9 minutes, 5 seconds left to play in the ball game. 2nd and 19 for the Falcons, who've been shoved back to the 35 by 3 successive penalties. Bartkowski looking for help, gets rid of it to Arthur Cox, the tight end over the middle, gets 7 out to the 40-yard line.
Yeah, that's the second helmet knocked off today or pulled off, isn't it?
Fasten your chin strap when you play that Giants defense, as they will knock it right off your head. It's Arthur Cox. He needs a little repair, apparently.
Cliff Austin was standing right next to him. I think Cliff made a mistake. You never have 2 receivers that close together.
Cox was a free agent last year. Another fine for the Atlanta Falcons. Now 3rd down.
He had knee surgery in August. Arthroscopic knee surgery.
Yeah, and came back in time for opening day. 3rd down, 14 from the 41 of the Falcons. Bartkowski got a man open. On the near sideline throw, the pass completion to Alfred Jackson, who is the key man in the only touchdown drive that the Falcons have had.
Here's Alfred coming off in the middle of your screen, sprint, nice technique. Now watch him pivot back to the inside, slide to the outside. The only thing he did is he ran a little short. Go get that 1st down, kiddo.
Not enough.
Not enough.
He was run out of bounds at the 49. They needed to reach the 44 of the Giants for the 1st down, so it'll be 4th and 5 for the Falcons.
How much time do we have left here?
Well, we got 8 minutes and 12 seconds. This might be a little bit early to go for it. Huh?
That's what I was asking.
Yes. Austin is the setback. Hodge in motion. The fans love the call, as they always do. Bartkowski needs 5 for the 1st down. And the Falcons have turned it over. So the gamble by Henning has failed. And the Giants will come up with excellent field position at their own 49. Gary Reasons doing a great job, number 55. And I'd have to question for him going forward with this much time left in the game. Timeout. Well, there's the situation here in Atlanta. 8 minutes and 8 seconds remaining. The Giants leading 19-7. They have a 1st down at their 49-yard line. And Phil Simms would like to work on the clock a little bit here. A few 1st downs. Run that clock down. As the Falcons need 2 scores. Carpenter across the 50 to the 48. But I still question Henning's decision to go for it on 4th and 5.
Whenever you make that kind of decision, Frank, you leave yourself wide open to be second-guessed. I sort of look at this that you're only 2 plays out of the ball game right now. 2 big plays, 19-7. And to give him the ball at this time, at that place in the field, boy, I'll tell you, it'll come back to haunt him.
We'll see. Henning looking at the clock right now rather anxiously, which shows 7 minutes and 35 seconds.
Zeke Mowat's back in at tight end, so evidently the knee was not too bad, Frank.
Pick up a 4 by Carpenter in the last play. 2nd and 6 for the Giants at the Falcon 48-yard line. Byron Williams, number 87, is the man in motion, the Giants wide receiver. Blitz that time, and it worked at perfection as Kenny Johnson knifed in from the left side and down Carpenter before he had a chance to take a step.
You know what happens many times, Frank? The Giants have played poorly for 2 weeks in a row. Atlanta Falcons are studying those films, and their players just come off a big win last week, and they start looking at those films, and those films set up the football team for a kill. You know, you're just mentally not into it like you would be if you were going in and watching a team play super for 2 weeks in a row.
3rd and 8 for the Giants from midfield. Atlanta couldn't help maybe being overconfident. They looked at those last 2 Giant films. Pressure on Sims, steps up in the pocket, trying to get rid of it, throws the football downfield. Ernest Gray reaches up. Let's see if he was in bounds. I don't believe so. They ruled he caught it and came down out of bounds. And Sims has part of the turf on his helmet after going down that time.
Here's Sims standing right back here. You talk about throwing the ball out of a foxhole. Watch this thing now. The rushers are going to be coming after him in many different spots. Now you'll see that people coming in, a little stunt right up inside there. Curry, number 50. That rush coming around the outside. Pitts, number 74. He's standing in there, and he lets it go. Unbelievable how he got rid of that football.
Back to live action. The punt by Jennings and the fair catch by Curran at the 15-yard line. 35 on the punt. And the Falcons will put it in play at their 15 with 6 minutes and 18 seconds left to play in the football game. Getting close to a now or never situation for the Falcons, who need 2 scores to get back in this game, and they both have to be touchdowns. And Bartkowski wants a big chunk right here. Spears. Bailey on the far sideline at the 34-yard line. Well, was Ernest Gray in bounds or out of bounds a moment ago?
Well, it looked like to me from here that he was. You can see him going up high for the football. He's got it in one hand now. One foot comes down. The other one out of bounds. Now it's the question whether number 23, Bobby Butler, forced him out. It didn't look like he did. It's a good call.
A 19-yard pickup on the pass from Bartkowski. Steve has now thrown 25 times, completed 15 for 186 yards. First down from the 35. Little half roll this time, but it's picked off. Picked off by the New York Giants. Gary Reasons still on his feet and is finally down in the neighborhood of the 20-yard line. Jeff Van Note made the stop, but a big play for Gary Reasons.
You see Gary Reasons now, number 55, your left linebacker in the middle of your screen, dropping to his left. You follow him to your left of your screen. Now Bart goes ahead and throws the ball. He falls back inside, picks it off. Now he becomes a running back. He's looking for blockers. Now watch him direct traffic here. See him pointing there. He says, go block R.C. Tillman, number 67. Go block that 68. All right, he got a nice block there from Lawrence Taylor, number 56. Marshall's down there. Nice play by the number 4 pick rookie.
26 yards on the interception return. A first down at the Falcons' 22-yard line for the New York Giants. Running room up the middle that time for Joe Morris. As the Giants have to be breathing a little bit easier. Van Note came limping off the field after making that tackle. Well, Reasons got his big starting opportunity. Moved in ahead of Joe McLaughlin today, and he comes up with a big defensive play. The ally of the New York Giants, just over 5.5 minutes remaining.
That's his second big play. He was the man that knocked down that crucial 4th down pass, Frank. That's 2 big plays in a row for him.
Pressure situations. 2nd and 5 from the 18-yard line. Morris and Wofolk are their setbacks, or rather Morris and Carpenter, and Morris again getting the call over the right side for the 17 or so, maybe a yard. Dan Benish, number 69, coming up to make the stop. Falcons defense digging in, trying to get the football back. Falcons last year started 2-5. They've improved on that. Back in 1980, they started 3-3, and that year went on to go 12-4. As we compare the marks of the 2 quarterbacks, Sims has got another pretty good day.
2 interceptions for Bartkowski. He doesn't throw 2 interceptions very often.
3rd and 5. Falcons come with the blitz. And it pays off this time as Sims is buried behind the line of scrimmage.
I think he should have audibled out of that if he could, because he could see that blitz coming, Frank. You could see it up here, and to run that kind of play into that kind of defense is just no way.
Big field goal attempt coming up here, because if Ali Haji Sheik hits this one, it means that the Falcons are going to have to score 3 times to pull this one out. And that's a little bit unlikely, you would think, just over 4 minutes to go. There's the book on the Sheik so far today. He's had opportunities, as you can see. 2 out of 4. Kick good.
Penalty.
Penalty on the play.
They called Carson for hooking at the wingback position.
Holding the call against the Giants, so erase the successful field goal. Look at disgust on the face of Bill Parcells, the second-year head coach of the New York Giants.
Offensive holding number 53. No field goal, 10-yard penalty.
Well, instead of a 39-yarder, now he's looking at 49.
Your odds drop, your percentage chances. Of course, when this guy was kicking right, it didn't make any difference. Last year from this distance, he hit 8 for 11.
Parcells says he's seen him kick him 60 and 70 in practice. A little different in practice. With no rush. 49 yards. Blocked this time. I believe it was Fry who was in there, and the Falcons will take over at the 39.
Parcells can't believe it.
David Fry, number 58, broke through there, the linebacker.
You can see right the left corner of your screen, number 37, Johnson going outside, and then the linebacker went inside and got to it. Carson has to stay inside tighter at that wingback position. See, he was so concerned about that last penalty.
That may have made the difference at that point, so a big play on the specialty team from Fry.
You can see on the end zone right there that Fry jumped in between the tight end and the wingback to make that play.
Falcons with 3 minutes and 50 seconds remaining in the game take over at their 39.
You'll see that Kenny Johnson right here rushes to the outside of Carson, and then David Fry inside hits that crack right there. Right here, Carson takes the choice and goes for the outside guy, clears the lane inside as he jumps over. Now watch Fry, number 58. See him jump over the inside there, reaches up and gets that ball.
That gives the Falcons some life. David Fry with the big play. Atlanta with a 1st and 10 at their 39. They still need to score twice. 2 touchdowns to pull this one out. Under 4 minutes to go. Riggs on the far side to about the 45-yard line. Picked up 7 or 8 on that play.
New York's doing a good job of taking away the deep patterns downfield and forcing them to throw those little short stuff. And you've got to complete a lot of those, Franks, to get in the end zone.
And when you have to get in the end zone twice inside of 3.5 minutes, you got some problems.
You better get your motor running.
Second down. They need 2 for the first down. Falcons at their 47-yard line. Bartkowski, he wants more than the 2. Goes over the middle. Cox, the tight end, has enough for the first down at the Giant 49. Hurry-up offense here by the Atlanta Falcons. No huddle as they bring it up to the line of scrimmage quickly. They move the chains. Clock moving. 2:55. Again, Bartkowski back to launch it. Again, they pick up 7 or 8 yards on the play, but lose precious time as Riggs makes the reception at the Giant 40-yard line. And again, the Falcons go with no huddle. 2 minutes and 35 seconds. Riggs on the run to the 35-yard line. Another first down for Atlanta, but again, precious time eroding. First down at the Giant 35. 2 minutes, 15 seconds left to play. Close to the 2-minute warning this time. Bartkowski looking long and goes short to Michael Landrum, number 80, one of the backup tight ends at the 33-yard line. Here's a timeout being called with 2 minutes and 6 seconds by the Falcons. First of their 3 timeouts, and Carl Banks, the rookie linebacker who has played so well for the Giants, is down on the field. Reminder, next Sunday, got something very special for you. America's Marathon Chicago. The likes of Joan Benoit, Olympic champion, Carlos Lopes, Olympic champion, and they've turned up with a great feel for that particular race. Our director, Bob Fishman's going to be there. I didn't even know he was a runner, did you?
No. I don't think he's going to go there.
No, that's right. He's going to direct it. Don't get nearly as winded sitting in that truck.
I think Banks has a cramp.
Good day for it, I'll tell you that. Other scores, Rams still leading New Orleans by a comfortable margin in the fourth period. The Jets and Cleveland in a squeaker. That's also in the fourth quarter. New England a field goal ahead of Cincinnati. Indianapolis has now scored on Philadelphia, so that's a 13-7 ball game. And St. Louis now 10 points ahead of the Bears. Looks like he does have a cramp. For an NFL Today report, let's go to Brent Musburger in New York.
Frank, 4 seconds to go in the Silverdome. Tampa Bay setting up a field goal that will win it, but O'Reary pulls it to the left, and now Detroit and the Buccaneers go into overtime, and John McKay's kicking game is still betraying him. Let's go back to Frank.
Take a look at the knee brace that a lot of these players wear now, and it's prevented a lot of serious injuries. Had to call the Anderson brace.
Yeah, Bill Parcells told us he's had a player bring one in and show him all bent around, and the doctor said he hadn't had that brace on. He'd been operated on.
Second down 6 for the Falcons at the Giant 31 as we go back to play. 2 minutes left in the game, and Bartkowski is sacked. Pressure that time by George Martin. Number 75 comes up with a big sack at the 41-yard line.
Now watch George Martin coming here, number 75. He's on Brett Miller. Now watch right here. He throws to the outside now and just jumps around him right there. Brett Miller didn't take him deep enough to turn him loose that way. He had to keep pressuring him outfield. Didn't do it.
Boy, when the Giants are in trouble, they rely on that defense for the big play, and has it ever come through for them today? 2-minute warning going to both benches. Back in Atlanta in just a moment. Exactly 2 minutes left to play in this football game. The Giants leading 19-7. The Falcons have a third down upcoming. They need 16 for the first down at the Giant 41, and the Falcons have 1 timeout left. And it's beginning to look a little bleak for the boys from Atlanta. Giants, of course, have all their timeouts. Bartkowski needs at least the first down. Motioning Jackson to go long. Jackson at the goal line. It's intercepted in the end zone. Perry Williams comes down with the interception in the end zone, as that time Bartkowski put up a prayer. And that could conceivably be the last hope for Dan Henning, his best friend across the way, Bill Parcells. They normally talk, but Bill said he hadn't called this week for some reason.
This is a dash pass when they're going to come straight back. Now slide out there to his right. See, like that? He's out there where he doesn't get any rush. He's away from it. He pumps. He lays it up deep, but he didn't see the defender coming from the backside of the play. Now watch him flash right in there. There he is, makes a nice play. I don't know really who he showed it to there, do you?
I think it was just a prayer. An absolute prayer, hoping that something would happen.
There's Perry Williams. He's excited about getting that interception. That's his first one of the year.
Well, he likes the easy ones, too, right? He's got to sit out there and wait for that thing to come down. 1st and 10 for the Giants at their 20-yard line after the touchback. The Falcons have 1 timeout left. Carpenter wants to make sure he hangs onto the football here. Well, I tell you, Falcons just can't win 2 in a row this year. They just haven't been able to do it. Coming up next, just a few minutes away, Cowboys and the Redskins. Cowboys have had some real problems with their wide receivers after all the people they've lost. Gary Hogeboom has not thrown a single touchdown pass to a wide receiver this year.
If he's going to beat the Skins, he better throw 1 or 2 today.
Well, time running out on Dan Henning and the Atlanta Falcons. They get the Rams again next week on a Monday night game. And Steve Bartkowski with a very frustrating afternoon. 19 out of 31 for 211 yards, but uncharacteristic. 3 interceptions. 2nd and 10. 1 minute left to play in the game. Carpenter is drilled behind the line of scrimmage for a loss in the play. The executive producer of the CBS coverage of the NFL, Terry O'Neill. Our producer, Chuck Bilton III. Our director, Bob Fishman. Associate producer, Richard Drake. John McCrae, Pierce O'Neill, Kelly Neal, and the rest of the people help make this one possible for you. Coming up very shortly, Cowboys and the Redskins. Might be interesting to point out what Bill Parcells told us about his wife yesterday, that she was not going to watch this one on television.
She was going to drive out in the country around, what was it, West Point, and just forget the football game and look at all the foliage and the colors in the trees and try to enjoy a Sunday.
So she probably has no idea what the score is right now.
Well, I think she cheats. I think she'll cheat. I think she's going to know what the score is. But very few people really know what a coach's wife goes through in regard to a football season and then every Sunday. It's every bit as tough on those gals as it is
and the
on
kids
the
too,
coach.
because you know, your kids catch it at school when things don't go well. Tonight on CBS, we're back to the regular Sunday night lineup, and it's a beauty. Only new show in there is Murder, She Wrote, which is just a great new show with Angela Lansbury. So the Giants simply running out the clock here. They'll go 4-3 in the season, and the Falcons will go 3-4. Joe Morris on the carry. On third down, needing 11 for the first down. Gets just a yard, but no timeouts left for the Atlanta Falcons. They will not have an opportunity to stop the clock, and you see the final seconds ticking away as the Giants came out strong offensively and defensively at a great goal line stand. They had 3 interceptions, a fumble recovery. The offense was blended today. They ran the football well. Sims threw it exceedingly well, and it all added up to a 19-7 victory. It's going to be a great flight home for New York.
It'll be a great flight. I think this man deserves a great flight. He's gone through some heck the last few weeks, and a fine guy, and the whole football team rallied today. And you know what? Watch Atlanta. Next Monday night, they'll play like a son of a gun.
Yep. And maybe the Los Angeles Rams will take the wrath. So this one is ended, and the Giants win it 19-7, and New York right in the thick of things in the NFC Eastern Division race, just one game behind the Redskins and the Cowboys.
Yeah, it's really tight.
A great afternoon all the way around for the New York Giants, coming off 2 dismal performances. For Dick Vermeil, this is Frank Glieber saying so long from Fulton County Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia. Big victory for the New York Giants. Stay with us now as the Dallas Cowboys battle the Washington Redskins for first place in the NFC East. Coverage of the National Football League will continue.